Live. Hello.
How's it going? This is the Bick Raven Productions podcast, and we've got a lot of stuff to cover today. And what I was doing with my phone here was I was trying to look at what are we covering. So I have an idea, and it actually goes on my phone, and I can see it, which I can. And there
First
it
thing
all
we're covering
is.
is the website.
Yeah, and we want to talk about the website. So
Yeah.
who are we? For the people who are new to our podcast, we are a video production company. We do commercial work.
Yep.
We're doing this podcast to do a podcast because it's fun and talk about film and how we shoot.
It's fun.
And-
We're educational. We're just trying
Yeah.
to give information out there,
That's
but also
right.
tell what we do. And yeah, it's we're just gonna have a lot of fun too on top of it. So
Right, and we've got a redone website, and we did a lot of work
Yeah.
recently on it, so we wanted to go over that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some of the new stuff that we're shooting, some of the stuff
Yeah.
we shot before, some things that are happening in the industry.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much our show all the time. We'll move in and out of that depending upon what's going on, what we're doing, or maybe there's some interesting things in the news.
yeah,
So we're going to start off now with the video production. And can people see that, Tay?
yep.
Okay,
Awesome.
great. So that's our website, and I'm going to allow Spencer, since he's done a lot of work in it. I know he did a ton of work on the music portion of it this week, to talk a little bit about that. So go ahead, Spencer.
Just the music portion of the
No, the whole
or-
thing. What we've changed and added, just little stuff, big stuff.
Well,
Veterans part.
what is new is just the entire portfolio page is basically new. We added that almost a week ago, and we added a veteran sign in it. So if you want to click on that portfolio,
I'll do it.
there we go. That's our business card that pops up, and you can just click off that.
Okay.
And it's our new portfolio page showing off what we do, our client work, and what we have done for our clients, our promotional videos, saying that we're a
How about this?
veteran-owned company.
Yeah, veteran-owned company.
Because he's a vet, and
Right.
I'm not. And that is the newest page on the production side, and we're just trying to show off more of what we do and what we have done for with clients. And we have about 5 clients that we're showing on there right now, I think, or 6.
Yeah, and those are the ones that we can be allowed to.
Correct. Yeah, that's the ones we are allowed to, and we're going to keep expanding. We'll show more stuff, and eventually we'll update it to make it more modern stuff when we make new stuff. But we'll go to the music site right now.
Okay.
And this had a rework. It still kind of looks the same, but if you go into click the albums, there's a bunch of new albums, and it shows off our new client soundtracks that you can buy and you can check out. You can listen to them all, but this is all the work that we do on our clientele, our own work, our any type of media that we had to make ourselves. And we decided to make a collaboration of that, so that way you guys can see specifically what we do and how we do it and what it sounds like and our style, or it's saying, hey, they have a lot of styles, maybe I should hire them, which you can. So that's the whole purpose of this.
Yeah, to get put a little bit more clarity on that too when it comes to styles. I mean, there are things on there that are done in certain styles of music, but that's not all we do. We can do anything. We do orchestral stuff or whatever. It really doesn't matter. We can do country music. It's just that we've done whatever in the past what people wanted us to do.
Yeah.
So that's what we have, and it doesn't. We're not limited to that because we compose, we make all the music, and so we have all the ownership on it and all the copyrights on it, which is great for
Makes
our
it
customers.
way easier.
Yeah, because there's no fees, there's no stupid loop music that these people use for their videos and things. We do, and generally we'll do. Unless they like some of our older stuff and say, I sure would like that on there. We do all original music for each person, so it gives a different feel. One of the things Spence did over to here, if I can point that out, is that he's got all, for our new show, Your Neck of the Woods.
Yeah.
He's got all 10 tunes. Is 10 showing up now?
Yep, 10
yeah,
showing
okay.
up.
10 showing up.
It was
All 10 tunes, and they're all different, that we're going to be using as the music for our new show as background music. That ties bumper music too. That ties from one piece of the episode to another piece of the episode, and it's good stuff. I feel very strong about that music because I think it's pretty.
Oh, it really fits the theme of it.
Yeah,
and they're all melodically having the same themes throughout it, but they all have a different type of sound to it.
Yeah, different type of music. You can have something that's got more of a bluesy beat, or you can have something that's more orchestral, but it's using a lot of the same theme music, so there's a lot of ties. But it fits the show, and of course we're excited about the show.
Oh, we're very excited. We're going to be doing a lot more of Your Neck of the Woods, and you're going to be seeing a lot more soon.
One of the things Spence did on this site too is he took some of the, and it's not everything, but he took some of the. Is this the which one?
Oh, the one-offs and client one-offs.
So which one has like the films?
So you mean the film work?
Yeah.
Of audio. So our film work is on the one-offs, and our clients' films are on the client.
So this is
our own personal one-off work.
Which for different shorts we did and things like that.
Yeah.
It's the music.
Yeah.
The music for that we did. And again, it's if we did a Western for somebody and they needed music for a Western. Then there it is. We just do Western music.
Oh, and that list is going to pile and pile probably.
But it gives you an idea how diverse we are. And it's important because there are some people out there that say, hey, you know what? We're shooting our own stuff. We're doing this and that. But we sure could use a company that has quick movement, can do quick turnover on music and get us some things if we show them what we're doing and the kind of music that we're interested in. And we can just do that too, because we started off doing audio, sound work, and music, and that was our start before we got into shooting film and video.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wasn't too involved in that part. I was a little kid, but now I'm an adult and I'm doing video. So
Right. And then some of our other albums and things. So is there anything else in here?
The only thing I really did on the website besides that is I updated the links at the very top right, and I just put a Twitch link on there and made sure all links are accurate.
Right up here.
So if you go onto there, you can.
The Twitch link.
Oh, if you go to the video side of the
site. Right. I was waiting for you to talk about that. Oh, I got to go to
That's also got a complete redone from the ground up look because I hated the look of it before.
Right.
And I went
the video site?
Yep, the video site.
Okay.
and I made it the classic gray, red, and black look. And
Ooh.
if you go into categories,
Categories, and where's that?
At top. That's right, left. I know you can't see too well.
I can't see it too well.
That's in the middle one.
The middle one. Thank
It's
you.
in the middle.
Yeah, I need a little guidance on that. The screen is too far for me, and it's pretty small.
So now we have all of our
Ooh.
shows in different categories actually organized. You can have direct links to the podcast. So if we are live and it has shows on Fridays at 12 o'clock, we are going to be
Right there.
live every week. Try to at least every week.
Right.
We might have to push it sometimes, but we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, we would have to push it to Saturday if we're shooting on Fridays.
Yes, exactly.
We try to tie up our work on Thursday so we can do editing back in house, prepare for the following week, and also do our podcast at the same time.
But if we
on
book a
Friday.
client, we're going to make that a priority. So
Yeah, there's not
that's
much you
how it
can do because some people, they say the only day I can shoot is on a Friday. So
Yep.
what are you going to do? You're
Yep.
not going to turn them down. You're going to do the work. So that's what we do. So I love the site. I love the colors. Spencer did a heck of a job
Thanks.
with that. I like the tie to the red from you have a red big bird up there.
Big Bird.
Big bird. It's a big bird.
bird.
Yeah. But it's cool that now you can just go on our website if you're not sure about finding our podcast live anywhere else, and you can click on the live right on our website and make it work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you-
It's just that easy.
Or you can watch it on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook.
Yeah, if you already have those links.
That's correct. So there we go.
All right, let's go to the
Anything
next
else?
thing.
Next thing, Miss Tay.
Mrs. Tay.
Mrs. Tay?
Mrs. Tay.
Mrs. Tay. Sounds like a cookie
the Miss
company.
Tay.
It's Mrs. Tay's
Mrs.
chocolate
Tay.
chips.
Ooh.
You like the chocolate chips, or what cookie would you want, Tay?
She likes chocolate chips. She likes
do like
double. She
chocolate
likes dark
chips.
chocolate.
Dark chocolate?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Dark
dark
Mrs.
chocolate.
Tay's dark chocolate chips.
Mm.
Only through Bic Raven.
Only through Big Raven.
Only through Bic
Delivered
Raven.
with facts.
Right. They're a little bit more than most chocolate chip. Well, a lot more. Let's just admit it. They're a lot more. But they're good.
All right. So we wanted to talk about a morbid thing, and we noticed a lot of people have been dying recently. And there's a lot of famous people that have been dying recently. So we're going to talk about
got
that
it.
a little bit.
You're going to click that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, because I already have it all right here.
Oh, thank you.
She's pre-organized.
Pretty organized. You mind if I scroll through?
Go for it.
Okay. So as we see, Rush
that a
Limbaugh,
little bit
famous
bigger.
radio guy. And I don't know what side of the political spectrum you're on. We really don't care one way or the other about the political spectrums. That's not what we do for a living. We shoot film and video and do audio. And we'll leave politics up to other people. But we know one thing about him. He was really good at what he did because he made a lot of money. And he's worth, God, what, $500 or $600 million?
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, he invested his money very well, from what I've read about him, and he had a huge following, and he left his wife with a real nice house and a chunk of cash, and
He's either loved
she'll
or
be
hated,
fine.
but
yeah, but that's everybody.
that's everybody.
Howard Stern, people like him, they don't like him. This person, they don't. And sometimes it's jealousy, or in his case, it'd probably be political opinion and
Oh,
some
of
jealousy. But regardless,
But he's
the guy-
still rich,
the
and
guy-
he did very well for
yeah, he was excellent. He was excellent at what he did. And anybody that's, regardless of their opinion about things, if they're excellent at what they do, he must have busted their butt to get there.
Oh, yeah. That's
Doesn't
not,
ha-
that's anybody.
It doesn't happen on its own.
No.
And a lot of work, a lot of study, and plus the innate genius. So it's sad to see anybody like that go. Larry Flint, I don't know what to say about this guy, except for the fact that
I don't know him.
Larry Flint, that Hustler magazine,
And
then they made that
He
movie
made
about-
Hustler?
that was his magazine.
Oh.
Ah.
And they had made that movie about him with who played him? Who played him?
I'm not sure. I
Woody
haven't seen that.
Harrelson? Somebody? Why am I blanking out? Who played Larry Flint? Mrs. Tay's Cookies?
Mrs. Tay's Cookies.
What movie was that?
Be known as Mrs.
Yeah.
Tay's Cookies from now on.
People versus Larry Flint?
Yes,
Yep,
correct.
Woody Harrelson.
Yes, Woody Harrelson. Yeah, and that was a really good movie, and I watched it a while ago. So anyway, here's a character. Next on the list, Chick Corea. Now I talked about the last
Yeah,
podcast.
That one's sad.
Herbie Hancock. Chick Corea, Return to Forever, when I first started listening to him. He's done all
I thought it
kinds
was
of
a chick.
music. It is Chick. It's Chick Corea. He's so stupid. He's so stupid. I don't know what to tell you. The jeans, I don't know. They lost
They got
some. They
spliced.
lost some belt loops in the next generation. So anyway, Chick Corea is excellent, an excellent musician, composer, and I like these guys like Herbie Hancock that play jazz piano, but play all the electric stuff, that play modern stuff, that work in and out of all different types of music. Because music is music is music.
Yeah.
If you make good country music, it's music. If you make good jazz, it's music. It's all music. It's sound, organized sound.
I kind of disagree. If you make country music, I think it's bad music, but that's just opinion based.
What a dick. Well, I don't agree with that.
I'm kidding.
I
Country
like-
music's fine. There's actually a lot of country music I like. Like I love Johnny
Well,
Cash.
there's so many types.
He just doesn't
So-
like the twangy country.
No, I
music.
hate
He
twang.
likes classic.
Really?
I hate swing.
I like Western swing.
Really?
I like some of the older stuff.
I think it's just ingrained that it's just.
Well, maybe it's your age
it
because
might be my age.
some of those musicians were really good,
Yeah.
and their writing was tight. And you think about how they had to perform, and all their performance venues that they went through to get where they were at the time. And country music had its older country music had its audience, but they had all the people that would disparage them too, just like you're doing right now. And they had to fight through all that just to feel good about themselves as musicians. You know?
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, it's not an easy world to be a.
no, especially then. And now it's like even difficult.
Oh,
you
it's
know?
way different.
Different,
All right,
different.
real quick,
But back-
guys, we got a comment
Yes.
from Gail Schnerman.
What does Gail Schnerman say?
Love the website. Great job.
Yay.
Awesome.
All
Thanks.
right. Yeah, you did a good job, Spence. And you're continuing to do a good job. Ever evolving website. So anyway, Chick is amazing. Sad that he died. Apparently he had some issue that was an unusual cancer, just like Rush Limbaugh. Mary Wilson,
Mary Wilson.
the original,
heard about
one of
her.
the original Supreme, the Supremes with Diana Ross.
Oh.
She died. Marty Schottenheimer, he's a coach, football coach. George Schultz, politician, and Jesus, who knows. Leon Spinks, known for beating Muhammad Ali at a young age after he got out of the Olympics in his 8th fight.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Well, Ali was getting old. And, you know, he wasn't in his prime, so it was a kind of a tough thing, but Leon beat him. Christopher Plummer. Jesus, what an actor.
Yeah, that's a sad one.
I'm showing these things to you, not that we're in the morbidity or death, but, you know, just to recognize, like, some of these people, it was like, in February, all of a sudden I'm watching, like, wow, this person died, and this person died, and this person died.
That's
These are
been the last 3 years, honestly.
This has been
The
significant.
last 3 years, people have been
But this
dying
was
and
just in the
dying.
last few weeks, you know?
No, I agree with you. In February, there's
Oh,
just
yeah.
so many.
Now, this person here, Hal Holbrook, I saw him in so many movies and so many TV shows. Plus, he was a theater actor. He was just a lot of things. Now, that's an older picture of him. I guess he was a handsome guy at the time when he was doing it, tall, handsome guy.
Yeah.
When he was a movie actor or television actor, but extremely good. Any of these guys,
unfortunately,
they get
never
as
seen
many
anything
parts.
in it.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, I was just saying I've never seen anything with them in it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, you have to go back and look and see what he's done, but he's in tons of stuff. And anybody that works as much as he did is obviously somebody they want, because not only is he good on screen, but he's probably good in front of cameras. He's probably good working with the directors. He's probably good working with production teams. He probably just gets along with everybody, does his job, and rolls.
Oh, yeah.
And that always needs to be recognized.
That's the
Why do these
best type
guys
of
get all?
actors.
Why these guys get all
So,
these parts?
It looks like what he's most famously known for is being in Into the Wild.
Into the
It
Wild.
says right here. Yeah, Into the Wild. He was a supporting actor, and then he played Deep Throat in a like Watergate scandal
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, he was in a ton of other stuff.
Oh, I've heard of that character. You can call me Deep Throat.
Well, that's the Watergate. That's the Watergate scandal with the Washington Post and all that. I'm not going deep in that, but anyway, it was good. Cecily Tyson, great actor. She was in her 90s, just like Cloris
Oh,
Leachman.
that's right, Cloris Leachman.
But because of what we do, pointing out Rush and then pointing out Larry King,
Larry King's a legend.
he's a legend.
Yeah.
And he's on CNN for years and years and years, which now CNN It's not much of a
One of my-
television.
One of my favorite.
They're
things-
kind of they're kind of weak
Oh yeah.
where they were before. But with Larry King's show and his radio show
Yeah.
that you drive around,
Yeah.
which I listen to, the interviews and the amount of interviews that he did and the people that he interviewed, and to be able to, it's like us. We go out and shoot, and and as we do this business, we'll shoot all these businesses and people and
Yeah.
artists and
Yeah.
whoever it is, We'll shoot all these people and do this collection. Over the years, the amount of people that he interviewed, whether on television or radio or both at
He
the same
basically
time.
interviewed everybody.
It's
I feel
amazing.
like how he
It's amazing.
basically interviewed every single person that's even entered Hollywood.
And his interviews, it's not just
Oh, they're
that
great.
they're great interviews.
And he actually seems like, even if it's something that you wouldn't think he would care about necessarily, even like something that's even like, let's say, a video game or something like that he interviewed someone with, then he would still care. He would actually always put all of his passion into it. I saw like him interview a YouTuber. I know he didn't care about that kind of thing, but at the same
but
time,
that's not the point.
Yeah. Oh, and it's not the point. He gets the information.
It's like for us, we're
a lot of
doing-
people aren't that way though.
Well, hopefully if you're doing a show, you are that way.
Yeah.
Whether you're listening to Howard Stern or whoever.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Howard Stern does it right.
You're putting things on there that your whole focus is the audience and what do they want to hear or see.
Well, people like Jimmy Kimmel. I wouldn't say Conan because he's a different type of cat, but people that are in that late night show type of talk show interview thing, Jimmy Fallon too, and just other people. They just don't answer those type of questions like he did.
No, it's not that kind of show.
But the thing is, people treat those shows like that type of show, even though they're not that type of show.
They're not that type of show.
I know. But, and the last thing I was going to say about
Howard Stern is that type of
Yeah.
show when he interviews.
Yes, he is. When he actually does do an interview and not just do
That's why people like Joe Rogan, because he goes deep.
Oh, Joe Rogan goes super deep. I love Joe Rogan. But Larry King, I remember he was on one of the, I think it was the roast of David Hasselhoff. I can't remember. But when he's on one of these roasts on Comedy Central, they made a great joke about how his skin would stretch out thousands of miles to be able to make coats for all the African children whenever he died. And now he can finally do that.
God.
But that's a sick joke, but he loved it. So
Well, he just had an ability to lock into do interviews that people were interested in to keep people watching, which you hope, like for what we do, and especially for videos, to capture our show when we do our show for the different people that we interview, that those are the subjects they're interested in. Grab a hold of those, what people really want to see.
yeah.
And I actually know what's not entertaining. That's very, very important.
Oh yeah, that is.
And to be discerning about that, because it doesn't matter what you do. I was sitting here and eating Cheetos and drinking beer or whatever, and in a podcast, people want to have some type of entertainment value where they want to learn something.
Yeah.
They want to get something fun.
Yeah.
And he managed to do that for years and years and years and years and years. And that's hard, real hard to do. That's why I love Rush, because like him or not, the guy entertained his audience. He managed to somehow pull that off.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
So that's Larry King.
It's being professional.
And there's Hank Aaron. He died. And
Yeah.
there's nothing more you can say than probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Willie Mays. You got some great players today, like Mike Trout. There's a few, but he hasn't really won anything. And Hank never really won a lot, World Series and et cetera.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't with the Yankees. He was with the Braves. But overall baseball player,
Oh, he's fantastic.
average, home runs, RBIs, consistency, just doing his job as a baseball player, and it can just amazing individual. He died, and great ambassador for the game of baseball. Not as many baseball fans today because of all the other sports and other things.
No
to focus
longer
on.
America's pastime.
Here's somebody that Phil Spector, as a person who likes to produce music, Phil Spector was the deal for a number of years that even the Beatles used to do production,
Really?
big productions,
He's an
background
interesting
production.
looking guy. I've never seen him.
He's a strange son of a gun. But Phil Spector he had the pulse of what needed to be done in production and music production at that time, and it went through as the time went through with different musicians and different bands to get the most out of them so they could get that song played that they would hear. It's like you get somebody who has a guitar, they write a decent song,
Yeah.
they've got some chords, and then you've got the producer standing behind them that says, I hear this instrument and that instrument and this instrument, and this is the way it should go, and we'll take that song and we'll make it this. So
Yeah.
people will actually not only want to listen to it once, but they'll listen to it again and again and again, and it'll become a hit. And he was excellent at doing that in production. He was amazing, actually, of what he accomplished and what he was able to do. Kind of similar to like a Quincy Jones.
I
Different
see.
personality, but the same idea where Quincy Jones could go into one genre like Frank Sinatra and then work with Michael Jackson in that genre because he could hear, because music is music is music. You can hear what it needs if you're really a producer or a composer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You hear it immediately what needs to be filled in, and you experiment. So he was, and it's sad that he went to jail and for murder and all that other stuff.
That's what
Yeah,
it
and he
says
died.
There. It
Oh,
says
wow.
he was convicted
Yeah.
for murder.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Wow.
So there's all kinds of nasty background, personal stuff going on in his life because some people get in. I mean, you get on all kinds of stuff and you get involved with all kinds of people. You can allow yourself to have that happen to you or not. That's your choice. But he did, and so as good as he was, he had some negative things and
I did not know
few other
the
things.
other guy from Roy and Siegfried died.
Yeah. So that's a
Oh,
different
whoa.
picture. They usually show that other picture with a big cat. They're showing him with a little cat. Yeah. So now both of them have died, and the other one just died last May. So they're both now not living, and they had that whole thing where they had that accident and stuff, and we got.
Yeah.
And that's about it for our short list. And there was a
Virginia
few
Roberts,
others, but
whoever
that's
that
really
is.
as far as I want to take it. So can we go back to what's next? And that would be great.
Oh, so we were thinking about looking at stuff that's going into the movie theaters and what we think actually looks good because with COVID and the movie theaters being shut down forever and they're finally open and they're finally starting to have some movies.
So we're
go in
gonna
there.
we're gonna always
Check it
base it now. We do not have in Flagstaff, Arizona, and this is where we're shooting from, and this is where we live. So,
Yeah.
so we're gonna base the movies with the availability at the Harkins, the large Harkins that's in Flagstaff, and what's there. That's not going to be the same as if you go down to Scottsdale and they have a special Harkins there, or the AMC's might be showing something else. Yeah, we know that. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We'll talk about, and generally we'll relate to what's happening here. We could flash some other ones because there's enough to talk about. But first, we want to talk about a movie that I got to see this week.
Yes.
I was talked into going out of, I guess I was being talked into this movie of going multiple times and I refused. But I finally said yes. For some reason, they must have caught me and I was either weak or stupid or probably both.
Delirious.
Delirious. Or maybe I was just, I was drugged and tied up, taken to the theater, and then I woke up, whoa,
Yeah.
with popcorn on top of me and sitting in the front, and the movie was starting. But I went to see
W.
W84.
Wonder
Wonder
Woman,
Woman.
1984.
No, W.
Yeah.
W84.
Yeah, they call
Wonder
it either
Woman.
or. WWE.
Wonder Woman 84. Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and this movie. Well,
That's about as exciting as it gets right there. Me saying those words.
Yeah.
That was as exciting as it gets. So, what I'm going to do, if I can take this over, Tay, is this a trailer or what is
That's
this?
just a trailer.
This
yeah.
is one of the trailers.
Okay, so I'm going to play this and I'll stop at will. Let's see what this trailer shows. I can kind of guide you in to this.
So, what kind of movie is this about?
Well, it's about her,
No, the Wonder
and
Woman.
it's about her. And I can't stop
Hold
it.
on 1 second.
What happened?
I'm fixing audio, so 1 sec.
Okay.
I'll make sure they can hear.
Okay, now it's still playing.
I know.
Now it's
I
stopped.
know. I got it.
Okay.
Just let me have control for a sec.
So, stop. Okay.
Stu, let me have control for a sec.
Oh, you're still fixing the audio?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I can't tell because
Good. Yeah.
you're in the sound area and we're over
I know.
here, and
Hold on, guys.
we have no idea what you're doing.
Okay, that should be good. Go
You
ahead.
could just be making cookies like Hillary Clinton.
Don't give away
I'm
my
cooking,
secrets.
making cookies in the kitchen.
Mrs. Taste
All right.
Secrets.
So let's see what this movie's about.
Oh, real quick, guys.
Yeah.
We have another comment from a YouTuber.
Yes.
Yeah.
Austin Alvarez says, "A
Hey.
or
Hey.
I."
Hey,
Hey.
Austin Alvarez.
How's it going, Austin?
I like A.
Hey.
Who used to do A?
That's the Fonz. Hey.
Oh,
Fun.
A. So you got to
Tuesday, Wednesday, jump the shark.
Okay, so let's go to those two women, and then if you have them on the screen, you keep taking it back to its, because you could start this again and get to the two women,
Yeah.
and then stop there.
There you go.
That's
You're not there. That's a picture frame.
That's a woman.
And the other woman. So get them both on the screen. Keep going. Keep
Yeah,
going.
sure.
There you go. Okay, those two.
Okay.
You know the one, you know the other. They're actresses. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
This is, and I know she played Wonder Woman before. This is the
Yeah, she played Wonder Woman
flattest,
twice. Actually, 3 times.
most disinterested acting I have seen in a long time. She acted like she never really was trying at all to get emotional. She was just nothing.
When I would read that script, I wouldn't either.
Well, possibly. And the other one, she plays this supposedly mousy, overly educated, nerdy type of person that's in a museum that eventually moves out of her shell and becomes this tigress by this power that they got from this stone. Okay,
Stone.
it's convoluted.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Stone.
stone. Yeah, stone. A stone. Well, it's actually like a crystal,
I see.
a citrine.
It's
actually.
kryptonite. Just kidding.
No, it's citrine. So she asks the one on the right. She asks this stone because you can get one wish. It's like a wish stone.
Oh, you get a wish.
You get a wish, and then why is it always one? What the? Who writes this stuff?
The people that didn't write Aladdin.
So, it's awful. So anyway, you get one wish, and her wish was to be like Wonder Woman. So she like turns into this character that's more powerful, and all of a sudden people like her, and all of a sudden people listen to her, and she becomes popular, and then she starts wearing skin tight clothes, and it just goes on and on until she turns into a cat
A
kind
cat?
of woman.
A
yeah,
cat?
kind of attack woman. Yeah, that's later, much later in the movie. Okay.
A Catwoman.
Yeah.
So she becomes Catwoman.
Yeah, so I'm going to play and drag. So she does this. So now we're seeing this. Are
No,
people-
it's not playing.
Oh, it's not playing?
No.
Well, now it is.
You? So many times, yeah.
Okay, so
All the
she's talking to her, and they're smiling, and they
She
got to
looks
know
so
each other.
familiar.
And Warner Brothers says, well, she is
It's
more familiar.
Kristen Wiig.
Oh, yeah.
1984. This is Wonder Woman going to an event, wearing her slitted dress so she can throw some leg. Everybody freaks out. Okay, she turns into this for no reason. We show the other Nemesis character, that guy that you just saw on the screen with the fists up. He plays this guy who has a oil / financial type company that everybody has bought into and put a lot of money into it, but it has no teeth. It has no money underneath it. Okay.
Okay.
And so at the same time, while he's trying to sell more of this company and stocks, and which has a false negative, he's trying to also try to dig out and get real, maybe some real oil and some real backing. And at the same time, he has decided he's going to become a person who takes money and gives it to some kind of organization, and he picks this organization that both of those people are working for. Amazingly enough,
Great.
Wonder Woman is also some kind of naturalist, geologist, archaeologist.
Oh,
type
she's
of
an
person,
absolute
too.
genius Amazonian.
Yeah. But what's great is you've got this person who's there, and the character is, instead of the actor like building it with their character that you believe it, because the actor becomes that, like Iron Man, okay? They just tell you this is the way she is. She is this thing with this power and that, and you better freaking believe it.
Okay.
And there's nothing believable about her to have any of those things, except for the fact that you know it's true because they just told you it's true.
I felt the same exact way when
It's
I
like
saw
they
Batman
stuck-
vs Superman with her.
They stuck a label on her head.
Yeah, that's what they
That
did.
She's Wonder Woman.
She's
So
Wonder
now-
Woman.
And now some event happens, some bad things happen. What's happening here is that in this scene, there is a robbery
Yeah.
at a jewelry store. And in the back of this jewelry store, these people are dealing in illegal / black market gold. They had some gold bricks back there. They had some other stuff, but also some crystals and some other rocks and some ancient stuff. Okay. So they got this in the back room. And so anyway, these people go to rob the store, and he goes in there, and the guy who's robbing it says, "Oh, I don't want the stuff in the front of the store. You know what I really want. I want the stuff in the back of the store." It's like, so these guys, and these two guys are so freaking inept. So they go in the back, and they're standing there looking at this stuff, and they're going, "Ha ha 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 ha," like they're cartoon characters. Who wrote this crap? And so they
And yet they
we
try to
got
say
a
DC's
comment.
more the darker.
they fill their
serious
stuff,
things.
their bags or whatever with it, and they go out into the mall, and then they cause all kinds of catastrophes and noise, and they complete attention to themselves because they're idiots. And so Wonder Woman somehow magically appears because they're having at that same time some kind of event, and she comes and saves the day and gets those two guys, two inept robbers. That's what we're using Wonder Woman for. I think we could have got, what's his name? Bart the mall cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Blart.
Paul Blart, the mall.
Paul Blart. Yeah.
Paul Blart, the mall cop. And Paul Blart could have captured those two
Oh my
guys.
God.
We didn't need Wonder Woman for this job.
Are you
okay?
sure?
And then,
Real quick, you guys.
Wow.
We got a couple comments.
Yeah.
go ahead.
So Austin just wanted to let us know that he's catching us while he's at work, but he's glad to catch the live.
Okay.
He said, "Oh, so she got the Star Wars Ray treatment."
She got the I am just automatically good. because I
Automatically
am.
good. Even though I'm a horrible
Just
actress.
Perfect.
I
And
wouldn't
my-
even
and
say
the-
Gal Gadot is a bad actress. To be honest, I think she's just been
She's
put
a bad actress in this.
She's a bad actress in that, but it's hard to be good act. I mean, like I've seen
If the script
good.
is- if
If
it's
the
no
script,
good.
yeah, I've only seen some people being able to pull that off, like every once in a while, and they have to be usually a damn
Jim
good
Carrey.
actor.
Jim Carrey took multiple scripts that were really crappy and did everything
I don't think he
could.
can even do that now, though.
Oh, well, that was when he was younger.
Yeah, when in his prime, yeah. But yeah, it's really hard to turn around a script. It really is. No matter how good you are, it really is hard.
So let me say this. So, and then we'll play more of the trailer. So, and this trailer's good because they're grabbing pieces. They're not just doing the beginning.
Yeah.
So, they always show her flying, okay, in the air.
Yeah.
Like she uses this golden kind of lasso. Okay. Well, she uses this golden like lasso rope.
Yeah. That's what she has. Yeah.
And then she lassos it kind of like she's like Spider-Man and Superman. And because she uses it like Spider-Man, and then she flies.
Well, she has the
through
lasso
air.
of truth, and she can fly, and she's very strong.
And some of the cheesiest shots, like, okay, you can see me now, right? I'm on the podcast. So this is me flying. like this, or like this. And the body is like stationary, like this, like just, and you're just moving through the air.
That's almost worse than the Tobey Maguire like first Spider.
I would rather see a puppet do that.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
exactly.
So, bottom line, here's the whole mall scene.
Just seeing it like being dangled.
Right? Why
Yeah.
not? Just a puppet. I'm not talking about a marionette. I'm just talking about a puppet. So you got a puppet and flying through space, and now people are coming to this event that they're going to. Here, go ahead. Let that play out a little. Or did you just go backwards on this thing?
I did because I
Could you not do it anymore? I'm going to take control.
It's when I'm switching the cameras. I press
Yeah,
the
well, I'm going to take
Hold
control
on.
so you don't have to worry. There's her shoes. How do you like those shoes? Pretty nice. We're not going to show anymore. Oh, how do you like that? So there's this guy. Then this is the picture I want to show. So this is your evil guy, who's flim-flamming people into investing. And
Okay.
and then he ends up turning into this power hungry person that takes the dream stone, okay? And this dream stone, and everybody gets a wish, and they wish for things, but when you wish for things with this dream stone, you lose something.
So it's a
In other
monkey's
words,
paw.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And it's something is taken away. So that's the whole thing. And he gets like somebody has a dream about he goes to Saudi Arabia and he tells one of the Saudi Arabian princes or kings, I think it's the prince or king, I'm not sure. Maybe the prince. But anyway, tells them,
Why the hell is this happening in this movie? This seems very
what would you like the most? And he said, I would like my country to be blah, 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 like it was at one time that we'd have all this extra land and everything else. So he made it true. So how did he make it true? He wished on the dream stone that he becomes the dream stone itself. So the dream stone exploded, okay, and he became the dream stone. So he actually does the wishes like a genie, and they take a wish, and he does their wish for them, but he can take away then something, and he took away the guy's oil. And he took away this person. So there's a concept there somewhere deep in the
Actually, that
story,
seems like a very cool concept if you played it out right.
and they screwed it up so bad. They didn't do it well at all. So you're stuck with this horrible, horrible, horrible story. Our sound person is now coming out. You need the what?
You need to adjust it a little bit. Every time you're moving off it.
Anytime you look at me, probably you can't.
That's
do it.
why I told you I probably need it like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Not sideways.
Comfortable for you. I just don't want to blow your sound.
No, it's better that way because I stay in front of the mic.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's fine.
Okay. So anyway, so you got this guy doing that, and you got this girl eventually turning into a cat, and she's siding with him. But the whole time I'm watching this movie, I am laughing because it's so bad. When you go from scene to scene. So if you go into this movie knowing that this is a comedy not meant to be, but still a comedy nevertheless, it could be actually an excellent experience for you. So if you'll watch it on whatever they have it on sometime, the HBO or something
It's
like
not.
that.
You have to rent it now.
I hate to say it, but I love going to the theaters. I like seeing things on the
Yeah.
big screen. I like seeing it stretched out because the movies are made for that. But that's a movie you can just watch whatever on whatever.
Yeah, television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch it. And it will it'll do what you need to do, which is get a good laugh at how bad this movie is. So it's pretty much a mystery science theater type of thing. Our real plan was to take this movie
Yeah.
and to walk through the movie and show you all the bad stuff and to laugh at different things. But I think I can do it with a trailer here.
Yeah,
play a few
unfortunately, we
things.
had HBO. It was on HBO Max, and we do have that, but unfortunately, they just removed
Yeah.
it, and I wonder why.
Yeah, so we don't have it now. Oh, there's a touching scene here.
Having everything you always wanted.
There she is. This is the Dreamstone time where she's looking at the picture and says, I want to be like her.
I want to be Wonder Woman.
I want to be like Wonder Woman. I want.
There's Chris Pine.
There's Chris Pine. You know, I'm going to stop this a second with the Chris Pine shot. Everything about Chris Pine's character and how they set him up, you couldn't even figure out. If you never saw the other Wonder Woman, I'm talking about the modern one, not the Linda Carter stuff, but
Yeah.
the other Wonder Woman, you wouldn't know why this character is here, what time he was from, why he's reacting. If he's supposed to be away from the past, then why can he fly this super modern jet plane? There's nothing that makes sense about his character, but I can tell you this. Plus, Chris Pine did a good job. He was good. He was good.
Well, Chris Pine's a great actor.
So he managed to
He's really
somehow salvage something out of that terrible script and put in stupid situations.
What would you say is acting of like just help carry a scene or something?
So what would happen is, like, first of all, she's flying.
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then we're having some ridiculous action scene that doesn't need to be there. There's very little in the entire movie that Wonder Woman actually does with her powers to save anything.
Yeah, that's why I heard it was very little action.
Yeah, so it didn't really. She was almost unnecessary in the
So it's
movie.
Chris Pine, the movie.
But what would happen was you'd go from any of these scenes to a scene that looks like it literally came out of a soap opera with the conversations like a soap opera. Blah, 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 blah. then they're explaining things instead of showing things. You know, movies are about show me, not tell me. So they're showing, okay, a little and telling us everything in this conversation. But it was like you were literally watching General Hospital or something else in this emotional scene. And you break to that constantly, again and again and again. Now, I do have to say, the beginning of the movie, somebody was trying hard to get us into the movie, because the beginning of the movie shows when Wonder Woman was a little girl and she was competing in one of these stupid competitions that in only that world that they lived in made sense, that they had to do all these athletic things. And she did stuff, and how she grew from it as a little girl and then became Wonder Woman. That scene, not becoming Wonder Woman, once she actually is becoming Wonder Woman and being here, wherever, in WW84, was well done.
Yeah, that's
what well done.
That's what Austin also said. My roommate / he works at Bick Raven a lot.
Another Austin.
Yeah, another Austin. He completely agrees. He said it was the only good scene. They showed the entire scene in the trailer.
So that if you're going to watch this movie, when you see the beginning, you say, "Hey, it's not as bad as they said it was." That's because you're only watching the good part. Get past that.
Get past that.
Get past, and it's all flushable after that. But if you want a good laugh, I'll tell you, if you want a good laugh and look at the movie like a comedy, like somebody made this movie as a joke,
yeah,
then you're good. Like, here we go. Here's this crazy scene they show in Washington, D.C. Now, another thing to say about this movie is that it takes place in Fairfax, Virginia. That was a Fairfax Mall, from what I could tell, which is right across the bridge from Washington, D.C. And so it's taking place in Washington, D.C., and a little bit in this Fairfax area, because we're talking about the museums that are there, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about that. So they have these shots of Washington.
Oh, we should watch
the
Scream Rant. Now that we talked a bunch about it.
Hang on a second. I just want to show one other thing if I can find it.
Oh, okay.
If I can't, I can't.
They have 2 trailers. They have this one and then a quote-unquote main official trailer.
No, I like this one better. This is great. You found a good one. Begin. So here, I'm going to put this here.
Begins.
Oh my God. Did you see that wall being exploded just a second or two ago?
Yeah.
That's when that happened. That little scene there when the girl's running, a little girl, that was the beginning scene. Oh, here's the beginning scenes for the horse, and this is that competition I was telling you about. The ridiculous this is him at the end being evil and being powerful. This is Chris Pine
watching her lip a truck.
See how she goes through the air? Did you catch that? Let me get that.
That's
again.
pretty
funny. Let me get that. This is how she flies too. She looks exactly like that. It is so freaking ridiculous. There she goes. Woo!
It looks almost Peter Pan-y.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like a puppet. Like when you had Peter Pan in the theater. How can I stop that in time? I'm not seeming to be able to stop that in time. Well, let me try it here.
And greatness is not what you think.
It looks up. There she is. No, I got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
Okay. So there she is, and that's how she does things magically. You know, she's so powerful. And
she's so powerful.
It's all nonsense because all it is one truck trying to catch up to another truck and chasing each other.
I can't believe they made like Wonder Woman and Mary Sue. She
But
actually has such a character.
It does look like the Peter Pan thing because she was on wires. If you go to Broadway and you see Peter Pan or the original stuff,
she looks like she's on wires. She like they didn't freaking try at all. No.
That's why the movie is so funny.
I've seen Man of Steel and I've seen Superman fly, and it looks like he's literally breaking the sound barrier.
It's like they didn't even give a crap.
Well, probably they didn't. It's a COVID movie.
It's really terrible.
It's probably DC's worst movie in the longest time.
Oh, look. Then she wears this. Now, this outfit she's got on here. Come on. Why did that do that?
It's just part of the trailer.
Yeah. Okay. So she's wearing this outfit. Now,
like
this,
Valkyrie.
She has been hiding this outfit, keeping it in her apartment. I am not sure. But I think it was in her apartment.
I think it's up her ass.
But she's got it saved. And she decides she's really going to have it, and it's some type of ancient Aztec outfit.
Ah, man.
that makes her more powerful. But what was great was while she was fighting the woman who turned cat-like, okay,
Yeah.
it wasn't powerful enough because it kept breaking off pieces of the outfit the whole time she was doing it.
Oh, really?
I don't know if they were trying to give us give some of those, teenage boys something to look at while she was slowly losing.
That's exactly what they were.
She was slowly losing
That's
her clothes.
exactly what they were.
But they
doing.
never got a good look
They're like,
anyway.
we know you're in COVID. We're gonna help you.
Here's something to look at.
Yeah, here's something to look at. WW84.
WW84.
That's the best.
WW.
World War 84. How many are there?
WW Wonder Woman 84. Wonder Woman. There it is. Oh, they're doing breakdancing. And she said, "What's that?" said Chris Pine. "Oh, that's breakdancing." Ha 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 ha. That's
I'm
dancing.
from World War One.
All right,
Yeah, I've never
can we
seen
talk
breakdancing before.
Can we talk
I mean,
about
that's the
that
kind
fanny
of
pack?
seeds they wrote in. You wouldn't even bother keeping those. You only put those in because you had some breakdancers there. The cameras happened to be rolling because they're just out there
That would've been cut
trying to
any other-
test the lighting, and it happens to be there, and they had it, and they were never going to use it.
It's like they
That was
kept
actually
the movie.
part of the script.
It's like they kept the scenes that they should have got rid of in every other movie just because they had to fill in the
but
block.
Real quick,
Yeah.
can we talk about that fanny pack?
The what?
The fanny pack? What
That
about it?
Fanny pack.
It's the 80s.
Right. So what they did, no, that's an excellent observation, because what they did was they put every obvious stupid thing, the sneakers he wore, like I don't think you're going to catch in this particular scene, because they won't show it because you're not seeing the whole scene, you're just seeing cuts. But he's wearing the typical really thick bottom on his athletic shoes.
The Steve Jobs shoes.
The original, like the original New Balance
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Okay. Those Steve Jobs, right? The real super nerd.
Yeah.
Those are his.
Yeah.
Members only jacket.
Nice.
Fanny pack. I mean, what else can you do?
Wear the cyan and pink jacket.
The only thing he needed was cocaine, like kind of still on the one side underneath his nose, That's the 80s.
The 80s.
All right, Austin Alvarez from YouTube says WW84, the rise of bad acting.
Yeah,
The rise of bad acting.
That's All
All right, let's watch the Screen Rant version of this.
Yeah, you can take this off now. June 5th, 2020.
God. Well, that sucks.
Okay.
I was
so-
got to poke fun at
Hold
one.
on.
That's not it.
Hold on.
That's not it.
That's
I'm
not it.
aware.
Our
We
entire,
like to annoy Tay.
our entire
with
job is to say
mistakes.
stupid things and criticize Tay or Mrs. Tay's cookies.
Mrs. Tay's cookies.
You guys get no more cookies. After this, no more cookies.
No more cookies.
But
Oh yeah, Tay's not on camera
they
today
rev us up
because
with the sugar.
of something that we're going to show you in a little bit.
They took me off camera. They don't like me
We should be on camera next week or Saturday.
Well, yeah, whatever.
anymore.
We might actually have to push our podcast next week to Saturday. We'll see.
We'll see. Things are falling in place, though.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I gotta fix
depends.
the audio here.
If we end up having to shoot on Friday.
I gotta fix the audio here.
Duck it in the program, but make it loud for us so we can go and hear that freaking jam.
Where is it?
It's right in front of you.
Okay, stop.
Wait, don't, you're not watching
I'm
it
not
yet
Done. I'm not done.
You're not done? Well, how do I know you're not done?
because she has to say it, but she doesn't.
I will say I'm done.
Just keep on screaming, I'm working, I'm working!
So you have to lead it with Mrs. Tay's Cookies says, and then say what you're going to say. Mrs. Tay's Cookies. I like the whole name.
This is Tay's
Cookies. First is Mrs., then her name's Tay,
Making my girlfriend sound like an old,
and then
like, cookie baking, like, fat woman on top, like, in the cover.
I don't know. I'm not the one that came up with it. I just like it, and I'm going to continue with it. Sometimes a person who really puts it out there
I'm gonna have a beer.
All right, I might
Isn't
need
the
to
person
fix
who
it
came
a
up
little
with it.
bit, but I think we're good.
Want a beer, Dad?
right now, no. I got to drink this here. I got to get some water. I was at physical therapy working out because I hurt my shoulders. And anyway, I hardly drank any water there. I'm kind of dehydrated.
I've been drinking water all morning. I'm gonna pee like a
You need to
racehorse.
close this up tight. Keeps it cold.
Screw the cold. I like warm beer,
Are we ready?
like the caveman I am.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, can you play it and then let me know? So I'm gonna say talk, and then we'll just have you stop it this time, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Spoilers.
Okay, so this is the spoiler. Stop.
For me? Yes, sir. I do.
Stop.
So
We can't hear
Stop. Yeah, we can't hear it at all, and we really do have
it.
to hear it.
Need to probably turn that on your end.
Oh. We'll be right back in just a sec here. What are you fixing?
We're all good.
Yeah.
Are we on pause? Can you put that back on the screen?
Yep.
We're going to explain this before you hit play, or I'll hit play, okay? I'll hit play.
Ah.
It looks like I turn it on and off too that way. Okay, so anyway, it's because we didn't have the whole Wonder Woman movie. We are going to play this little thing going back and forth because it will explain the dumbness of it so well all by itself. We can sit here and say nothing, but we'll probably make a few comments anyway. Okay, this guy is just brilliant.
I love him. I
We're
love
going
Frank
to start
George.
the movie with Diana as a kid back in Themyscira.
Oh, go back.
And what's
It's
she
starting
up
at
to? Well,
not
she's
the
competing
beginning.
in the
Okay,
Amazon
then I'll
version.
start at the beginning. Spoiler alert!
So, you have a Wonder Woman sequel for me? Yes, sir, I do. So we're going to start the movie with Diana as a kid back in Themyscira. Okay, and what's she up to? Well, she's competing in the Amazon version of that TV show Wipeout, and she tries to use a shortcut to win and learns that cheating is wrong. Sure, okay, that's a nice quick message to start the movie off. It's going to take a full 11 minutes. Oh, my God. So then we're going to jump forward to the 19...
There must be some. I don't know if you lowered your laptop volume or not, but I can't raise it.
No, the laptop is the laptop. It just is what it is.
Is it the monitor over here?
We've got too many computers all hooked up to everything at once.
All right. There you go.
Are you good now?
Yeah.
Are we still on?
I just can't hear.
Yep.
Okay. Well, sorry about that, but we got to get this right.
All right.
1980s, which is when this movie takes place. Okay, so like 30, 40 years ago. Oh, I don't enjoy that that's a true thing. So anyway, Diana is still super heartbroken about Steve Trevor dying in the first movie. He's all she can think about. Really, after all that time? Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta understand, this was a really good guy she knew for a couple of days 7 decades ago. Well, yeah, so anyway, Diana's working in Washington, D.C. at the Smithsonian, and she has a new coworker named Barbara. And what's her deal? Oh, well, she's a freaking nerd, sir. She can't even walk in heels. Oh, embarrassing, disgusting, and pathetic. I bet nobody likes her. Yeah, and so there's this artifact called the Dream Stone, and that's what this movie's gonna focus on. Oh, what's this thing do? Oh, this thing's freaking nuts. It grants wishes, but it takes something in return. A very magical stone. Yeah, and this phony business guy, Max Lord, he gets his hand on it, and he wishes to become the Dream Stone. Oh, so he turns to stone? You would think so, the way that was phrased, but no, now he can grant people's wishes when they touch him, and he can take something in return. And do Barbara and Diana get wishes in before he...
All right. I have to turn this up. There has to be something. May I see something?
Are we still on live?
We'll be right back.
super strength, and now which, as you
Hold on. And we're back.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Technical error.
Okay, so we're back.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to play it.
Let's just play from the beginning.
Fact called the Dreamstone, and that's what this movie.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
I couldn't.
Okay, this is some good stuff. So spoilers ahead, and once again.
So, you have a Wonder Woman sequel for me? Yes, sir, I do. So we're gonna start the movie with Diana as a kid back in Themyscira. Okay, and what's she up to? Well, she's competing in the Amazon version of that TV show Wipeout, and she tries to use a shortcut to win and learns that cheating is wrong. Sure, okay, that's a nice quick message to start the movie off. It's gonna take a full 11 minutes. Oh, my God. So then we're gonna jump forward to the 1980s, which is when this movie takes place. Okay, so like 30, 40 years ago? Oh, I don't enjoy that that's a true thing. So anyway, Diana is still super heartbroken about Steve Trevor dying in the first movie. He's all she can think about. Really? After all that time? Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta understand, this was a really good guy she knew for a couple of days 7 decades ago. Well, yeah, I guess so. So anyway, Diana's working in Washington, D.C. at the Smithsonian, and she has a new coworker named Barbara. And what's her deal? Oh, well, she's a freaking nerd, sir. She can't even walk in heels. Oh, embarrassing, disgusting, and pathetic. I bet nobody likes her. Yeah, and so there's this artifact called the Dreamstone, and that's what this movie's gonna focus on. Oh, what's this thing do? Oh, this thing's freaking nuts. It grants wishes, but it takes something in return. A very magical stone. Yeah, and this phony business guy, Max Lord, he gets his hand on it, and he wishes to become the Dreamstone. Oh, so he turns to stone? You would think so, the way that was phrased, but no, now he can grant people's wishes when they touch him, and he can take something in return. And do Barbara and Diana get wishes in before he does that? They do. Barbara wishes to be more like Diana, so she gets some nice clothes and some super strength, and now she can walk in heels. Now that's impressive, am I right? Yeah, she's not pathetic anymore. Also, she removes her glasses, which, as you know, makes people automatically more attractive. That's just good character development is what that is. And so Diana's gonna wish for Steve Trevor to come back to life, and this way we could get Chris Pine back in the movie. Oh, people like Chris Pine, so what, does he just appear out of thin air? Actually, no, his consciousness goes into this random guy's body, so everybody sees this random guy, but we see Chris Pine. So, okay, is this because the stone can't make things just magically show up? No, it absolutely can. A giant wall's gonna appear out of nowhere, so are some nukes. I mean, the thing is magic. So why are we doing this weird body control thing with Steve? I don't know. What happens to this guy's consciousness while Steve's controlling his body? Who's to say? You are. Yeah. What if this guy has a job and a family he has to get to? Oh, God, the implications are insane. Where is his consciousness? Is he dead? Oh, well, here's the thing, sir. I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about this body control thing. Get off of it. Oh, that felt vaguely threatening, so I'm gonna get off your back about that. Great, and so then Steve and Diana, obviously, they get intimate because, you know, they love each other. They do that using a stranger's body. That's gotta be crossing a line. That's not okay. Yeah, well, we're gonna have them do it anyway, and I find it strange that you immediately got back on my back about that. I mean, it's actually a really easy fix. Just have Steve Trevor show up as himself. No. So then that Max Lord guy makes himself super rich, and he goes to Egypt to take some guy's oil and make himself even richer. Okay. So Steve and Diana, they gotta get over there, you know? How are they gonna do that? Well, the thing is, they can't just take a commercial flight, because Steve doesn't have a passport. Well, I mean, the guy he's possessing probably has one. Yeah, well, they don't check for that. They head to the Smithsonian and steal one of the jets from over there. They have operational jets at the museum? They do, yeah. Fully fueled jets just lying around, so they take one of those because Steve was a pilot. Okay, he was a pilot in World War I. These are, those are different planes. Well, I mean, a plane is a plane. That's, I mean, okay, yeah, that sentence is not technically wrong. So there you go. No, but, okay, but sir, a plane is a plane. Are you implying that a plane's not a plane? Because a plane is a plane. I mean, that's just such a vague general statement. A plane is a plane. Okay. So then they're
a plane is a plane.
So Wonder Woman goes ahead and makes it invisible, and that's how she gets her invisible jet. What? How? Well, it turns out that's a thing she can do, so she does the thing that she can do. Wow, well, thank God she has that ability. We never once mentioned a reference.
When was she able to do that? I thought she just had an invisible jet just to make...
It's a good stopping point there. She can actually, she's got powers, and that's what I was mentioning to you before, that she acts like Spider-Man, has powers like Superman, and she could actually like, oh yes, that's right, I forgot. When I was an Aztec warrior, I could make things, if I really bring my conscious, make the whole thing, whatever I want, invisible.
How do you forget that? Oh, I just forgot. It slipped my mind.
Maybe she wasn't working on it because she was too busy walking around in a slitted dress and going to parties.
No, maybe.
Fire part, probably.
That's the 80s for you.
Exciting. But he
Back to
gets
this
away
guy.
and he goes around causing a bunch more chaos. Then he goes to see the President of the United States. What for? Well, he gets the President to wish for more nukes, and then he sees this technology just lying around in the Oval Office, and it's exactly what he needs. What do you mean? Well, it's this device that lets him take over everybody's screen around the world. So technically, through like satellite waves, he's touching them. How? Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, okay, I won't. So then there's going to be this fight in the White House. And
don't
Barbara,
worry.
she's turning evil.
That's
so
the-
she gets in on that too. Okay.
They just said the key to this whole movie as a viewer, don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
Don't concern yourself that any of the dots connect, the plot matters, or even any actions that they take has anything to do with the next thing you're going to see. If you just relax and
Turn off your brain.
turn off the brain. That's- but you can leave the brain on just enough to get some chuckles.
Yeah.
Grab Max Lord.
Not
Oh,
foam
so
from
he
the
wishes
mouth.
for everything to go back to normal? Oh, yeah, no, that would have been smart. Instead, he pushes him around a bit. Also a decent strategy. Yeah, so then Max Lord escapes, and he heads off to the satellite island to do his broadcast. Wow. And Steve and Diana find out that everybody needs to renounce their wishes, or else civilization's gonna end. So they have this big emotional goodbye. Oh, very sad. Very sad. But then she starts to fly and lasso some lightning bolts, so that's pretty
There's
cool.
that lasso.
That's not bad.
Like Spider-Man.
Lasso's the
Diana's gonna have to
lightning.
fight Barbara, who, by the way,
Like
is a
Super
cat.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, she's a cat.
She does stuff Spider-Man can't do.
Talking about.
Or
See,
Superman
Max
can
Lord
do.
was like, "Hey, anything else you want?" And she's like, "Yes, actually, I would like to be an apex
Look,
predator."
see how she's a
She
cat?
could have
She's
just
a
as
cat.
easily been turned
Weird.
into a killer whale. Yeah, I guess there was a chance she could have turned into a, orca whale, but that would have made for a less interesting fight scene. Oh, I wholeheartedly disagree. Anyway, so then we're gonna have a barely visible fight scene, and Barbara's gonna get electrocuted.
Yeah, that's true. I got to think about that one. If she was an orca whale instead, a lot of it water, ocean. You can make it like a real
I
dark,
wholeheartedly disagree.
dark night with a lot of light and dark.
but why does she
scenes
turn into
in the
a cat?
waves? I don't know, because she said she wanted to be like
Wonder Woman.
no, she was going to be like Wonder Woman, but she wanted to be more powerful. Well, first of all, now keep in mind, this stone, you get one wish, right?
Yeah. So how did she get two?
That's right. So how the hell did she change kind of again? Unless the whole evolving, she says, I want to be as
Unless
this.
you werewolves after a while.
Well, it doesn't make sense. They tried to make some sense out of it that she was with the Dreamstone guy, and he was himself as the Dreamstone, and somehow he wished for her to do that, or somehow I don't know. But
Wait,
it doesn't
did
matter.
she wish for to become like Wonder Woman when it was still a stone?
Yes.
So maybe that's could be the explanation that he's now the stone, so it kind of resets.
So she could become even more crazy.
even more kitty. cat.
But as this whole thing, you would watch her evolve. It wasn't like if you have a wish and you say I want $1 million, okay, and boom, there's the $1 million. It's like cut and dried. No $1 million, $1 million.
Yeah.
But for her character was constantly evolving, more powerful and more powerful and more this.
because it's
and more that.
convoluted, it doesn't make any
More of that.
sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense why that would. Everything else is cut and dry with their dreams, but of what they want. But hers is
Because
A little
plot
sleepy,
development.
which
Be
is what
right,
happens when
because they
cats
needed
get
more.
electrocuted. That's not. No, I don't think that's accurate. Well, that's what my dad told me when my childhood cat chewed through his extension cord. Your cat died, I think. No, sir. He went to sleep, then he went to live on a farm, and I never saw him again. Okay, so what happens next? Oh, well, Max is granting wishes to everybody in the world through their screens. Most of the world doesn't speak English. Well, okay, yeah, I'll keep that in mind for trivia night, I guess. That's interesting. Anyway, it's going to be complete chaos. Oh, it is? Yep, people are killing each other with wishes. One guy gets a farm outside his apartment. People can wish for anything. Really?
Yeah.
It's going to be nuts. Statistically speaking, wouldn't
There's
at least
cows
one
walking
person
around.
wish for the guy that just showed up on their TV to die or for the world to end? Wouldn't at least one person wish for world peace? What happens with that paradox? Well, I mean, that's like a 1 in a million kind of wish, right? There are billions of people in the world. Oh, you're just full of fun trivia tonight. So anyway, Diana has to lasso this
You're
guy,
full
but her
of it.
lasso can't get through this mysterious wind around him. Oh, wow. It's going to be tough for her to defeat him if she can't reach him. Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really?
Really?
Yes,
I
she
know.
gets her lasso around his ankle, and then she can talk to everybody through him. I thought she couldn't get through with that thing. Oh, yeah? No, she couldn't. But then She could.
But how?
Unclear.
Well, okay then.
So then she tells everybody to renounce their wishes because nothing.
There's a lot of
good comes from
unclear
lying.
things.
Everybody does it.
Everybody does it, including Max Lord, who suddenly cares about his son that he's been actively ignoring the whole movie.
And so what about, like, what if someone with a terminal illness wished to be cured?
Oh well, they would have to renounce that because that's not the truth.
What if a blind person wished to be able to see?
That's a shortcut to being able to see. So that's wrong.
What if somebody wished to be able to feed their starving child?
Yeah, okay, this moment only works if everybody wishes for something selfish or violent, so we're gonna have to pretend like that's the case, okay?
Oh, pretending is tight. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, thank God.
Pretending
so then
is
Max
tight.
Lord is gonna go reunite with his son, who just kind of comes running out of the woods for
That's
no reason.
how
How did Max Lord get
convoluted
back from
this
the
story
island
is.
if he renounced all his wishes?
Unclear.
And what happens with Barbara?
Oh, well, she's not a cat anymore, and she's chilling, I imagine.
Okay.
Anyway, then Diana's gonna have a little flirty moment with the guy who Steve was
Yeah, they had this
controlling. It's
Christmas
gonna be
moment
very
at the
sweet.
end.
He's already seen that guy naked.
Chris
It's
is
a real sweet
the
moment.
same.
It's gonna be Christmas too.
Yeah, I don't know if it being Christmas makes it better.
And then she looks at a balloon, and we're all
Yeah.
done. So what do you think?
I mean, I feel like using a strange man's body is just so deeply strange and raises so many messed up questions.
Right. Well, maybe nobody will think of how weird it is.
Well, yeah, I guess that is a possibility. Okay, let's do it.
And there you go. And that's how the
Hey guys,
movie was
Ryan here.
made.
Thanks for watching
Wow.
this
With the
movie.
Christmas
I
scene
hope
at the
you
end,
liked
and
it.
she
If you did,
stares at
press
this
the like
balloon,
button.
this
Surprised there's no
star-shaped balloon,
marriage.
as it goes off into space.
I'm surprised there's no wedding.
The whole movie is just so stupid. It's so stupid, and but if you want to get a good laugh and you want to laugh at something instead of laugh with something, it's truly the movie of the year.
All
To
right.
be able to do that with.
So we're going to the next topic.
Okay,
It's enough Wonder Woman for
that was a
one
lot
day.
of Wonder Woman.
For
But
one day.
Wonder Woman is Wonder Woman. She's wondrous. So
Yes.
it needs it's big.
So
It's
the
big.
next thing we're going to talk about. I guess kind of ruins that a little bit, but it's okay.
Okay, it ruined it.
No.
The next thing we're going to talk about is baseball.
Yeah. Can you just keep the audience distracted for like a minute?
Distracted, sure. Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
And this specific gimbal called a glide cam. A glide cam is a gimbal that requires no battery, no electronics, no nothing like that. It's all weight based. Can you hear me, by the way?
Can I give him a little history on this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so when doing shots, okay, generally people, if they're not going to put the camera on some kind of sticks on tripod, then they're going to handhold in news gathering. They'll put it on their shoulder with some type of sled, and people develop different ways to hold the camera to get a smoother shot. And there's really two sides. We've got.
Stand behind your dad.
Is that better?
Yeah.
We've got a Ronin unit that works by batteries, and it shoots very smooth shots, but it's battery operated gimbal that works electronically. So it feels your level and catches your level right. The problem with those is the batteries don't always work. And the balancing gets wiggly and warped, and it's not quite right. And you always go through these technical issues all the time. Plus, the shot feels robotic. But that's a subjective thing, okay? Other people say, oh, it's smoother, blah, blah, blah. But what we like to do, whether it's using a jacket or a straight, like glide cam arm like this, okay, is that this will balance on its own and give us a very organic feeling shot.
It's not fully
Smooth
balanced
shot.
like now because unfortunately it just got unbalanced. But it is pretty balanced. As you can see, I can go around it, but it's slightly wobbly. But the whole point of it is it will be gyroscopically stable to the ground because of the weight.
So, for example, forget about a film shot, just a commercial shot. We're going to be shooting, and we'll be talking about this in a little bit. We're going to be shooting some locations in Prescott, Arizona, and we'll be following people in their buildings, whatever it is. It might be a big theater, performance hall or something. And we're going to follow them and walk behind them, and it gives you that shot behind them. We prefer to set up after a shot like that, to edit that in, but then to set up on a tripod to get a smoother shot, more stable shot. But if you want moving shots and things, for us, this is the way to go. Spencer also will wear a jacket and not just an arm. So he'll attach to a jacket with an attached arm. It's a robotic kind of looking arm. And it hooks to here. And that'll allow us, it hooks right to here. And it'll allow us to use the jacket instead. And that gives him even more stability. But the biggest thing it gives you is it helps with the fatigue. Because you carry this thing around. And this is...
it's heavy.
This is a lighter camera, heavy lens. This is a heavy cinema lens. But still, the lighter lenses, because they're made out of carbon fiber, those are the ones we're using today. And that still gets heavy. And that'll wear your butt out after using it. So the jacket helps you to be able to do longer shots, more shots, et cetera, without getting totally worn out.
That's how it should look. It's very smooth.
Right.
If you
So,
go around.
right. So he'll straighten it out. So it'll set like this, and then he'll just walk in a line like that. And that's how we get our shots.
Slightly tap it to spin it if you need to pivot it or anything like that, but not too much so that way you cause any bumps or anything like that. But the main thing with this is, it can be incredibly heavy after a long while because I add a screen, I might add a microphone or anything like that on top of this camera, and I will need that jacket just to support the weight because my arm will be dead by the end of the day.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So this company, GlideCam, makes some nice stuff. They've got some great jackets. We got a new jacket coming in Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get it from GlideCam because they don't have the jackets.
Yeah.
Because ever since the COVID thing, manufacturing, getting things out and having things available, so we had to buy it actually from a different company, but it's I would say identical piece that we have. But we do like the GlideCam. We've got shoulder mount units from GlideCam. They make some nice products. Also, a company called Steadicam makes them, but there's a company called FlyCam, and they're out of India. And we try to buy American products when we can. I mean, you're buying cameras and lenses and things. They're made other places. There's nothing you can do about it. But when they're available, when we can, so we kind of have a spread of different things, whether it's mics or whatever that we're buying from different places. So these are from India. And they're good and made well too. But we're showing you that. So then when we do the shots, we'll say on another podcast, we'll show you the shots that we did with the GlideCam and how we did it with a jacket or without, because we're not going to, I doubt if we'll have many shots that we're going to take a camera and turn it around on Spence shooting or somebody else doing this work and that work. So we're showing you the equipment, and then we'll just show you our shots.
Yeah.
Because we usually work 3-man crew out there, and we work tight in that so we can get in and out of buildings or shoot short things. So, are you going to continue with this, or you want to move on to the next
I think that's pretty much it. Besides that, stability is everything when it comes to the.
Okay, so we need to stay on that your neck of the woods thing. So we were actually there already, Tay.
Oh, we're just going to talk about your neck.
Yeah. So your neck of the woods. That's our new show. That's what we have a pilot on there where we did Sunset Crater and Wapaka.
Yeah.
And that was, and to be clear with that, when you watch it, that's our tester one. We just wanted to get out there, shoot some things. It was COVID time. We couldn't get interviews with the people at the Forest Service the same way because they're all masked up and they're all, having a difficult time just trying to do their job. So I basically had to, instead of interviewing some people there, I basically had to take the front and explain different areas. And so we decided, we're just going to roll with that and show everything and put it together. But the main thing was to piece the show so we could get segmented ways that we were figuring out time-wise how each piece would flow. The music, the graphics, just the whole idea of the way the show would be put together. And we ended up writing it down from about, our thoughts earlier would be 22 minutes to, and it ended up being like 17 and change.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But our regular news shows will probably be hitting the 22 and a half, 23 minute mark. which is usually the standard for most of these types of shows. You can do them less or more. I mean, that's up to us. But
It's a
still-
standard television time.
Yeah, exactly. For
Yeah.
standard television production. So that would be our plan. So what we're working on now is we're working on different towns in Arizona, and
I'll be right back.
we're shooting Prescott next week, and we've already done some B-roll in Prescott, and we've got the Cottonwood area. So we're dividing our shooting up, and we're going to move through the state. And there's a lot of towns in Arizona. Arizona's a big state. It's the sixth largest state in the United States. I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but New Mexico's 5, and then count down the rest of the big ones that are left until you get to California as number 1. And excuse me, it's Alaska is number 1, right?
It's Alaska,
Yeah,
Texas.
then Alaska and Texas, then
I
Cal.
think it's New York, then California.
No. California's bigger than New York.
Is it?
You got Florida. You skip Florida. Yeah, New York's not near as big.
I just know Alaska and Texas.
Now you can't. Now I'm talking population. I'm talking land width. Land space, square miles. But anyway, Arizona's a very big state, bigger than some people think Montana is bigger, but it's not. And with that, we've got a lot of cities and a lot of places, even though there's a lot of nothing out there too. But from point to point, there's lots of towns. And so what we'll be doing, small towns, big towns, is going around and finding interesting things in each town and making a show about those towns. So each town is going to have its own flavor, its own feel. Some might be much more rural. So the things that we find interesting, and it'll be coming down to the things that we find interesting. That's the things we're going to show, because we hope at that point what we find interesting is what you find interesting. So what we found interesting in Prescott is multiple things, but we had to narrow it down because our show can only be so long. I want to show enough of each thing we show, but there's some performance halls there. There's an artist guild that we just talked to today that we'll be shooting next week. That will be good.
Yeah.
We're going to shoot the zoo. Some people don't even know that they have a zoo, the Heritage Zoo, but it's really cool, and we'll have somebody from the zoo on camera, and that will be a winner. We've got a new vegan restaurant, which is mostly a juice bar, but they also have food too. Really cool the way that place is laid out. And for Prescott, it's really the only thing like that in Prescott.
Yeah.
So that's neat. Yavapai College, there's 3 colleges in Prescott. Prescott's got the Embry-Riddle, and for people who don't know who Embry-Riddle is, they're one of the, if not the premier aeronautical universities in the United States. Now you have Air Force, and then you've got the other Embry-Riddle in Florida, and you've got Embry-Riddle. And so they train people not only in aeronautical, but they also have this real high thing with security and safety and some other departments. Pretty impressive university. But it's, to me, and this is the way we're thinking when we pick the people that we're going to have and shoot on our show, to me, it's not, it's kind of on the edge where it's not somewhere where everybody could think about going, because the cost is high unless you are planning to go in the Air Force and you get commission, that type of thing. It's going to be pretty expensive for most people. It's not a most people place. And then you've got Prescott College, which is an environmental college. They have a strong left social agenda and things, and they're a cool place, and they have some neat stuff and some programs to take. But again, a high price on that too. And then they've got Yavapai College, which is their community college. The community college is amazing because they've got programs that most community colleges don't have. And one of those programs is the aeronautical one that feeds off of Embry-Riddle. They've got it in the C-Tech building, and you have to take some classes on the regular campus in Prescott. But they have this CNET building, aeronauticals, where you can train to become a pilot or a helicopter pilot, or a gal that fixes those things, or fly big drones, and something else too. So anyway, we decided they'd be one to pick on to shoot for the show, and so we're going to, and we're set up, and we'll be shooting them also so people can learn about that, learn about these new and interesting things that are out there. And so that's what our show is, plus going around Prescott, showing the things in Prescott, showing some of their parks, and then we'll put it all together, and that will be the show. And then we'll go to another town and it'll probably be something different. Maybe it'll be a winery, or maybe it'll be what they have really good. But it's something that stands out, that's unique, or a unique way that they do it. So we hope that once we get these shows that rolling and the true episodes, not just our pilot, out there, that people will tune in, and because we'll be talking about them, and also we'll be giving some publicity to those different venues that we shot by talking about it on our podcast, for them having access to our video that we shot for them for our show, be able to publish and put those on their own website. So it'll give them some avenues to be able to talk about themselves and how they're out there too in their business. So it helps the viewer, for us, to gain some information. It helps us to show our show and to show what we can do. And it helps the businesses that are out there that decided to take a risk and become unique and do something different and something cool to get a little publicity.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So everybody's winning on that, and we hope that people enjoy it. Now, it'll be very interesting once we get those episodes done and out, and it'll be a bit of time because we have to shoot them, edit them, et cetera, but we'll get them out as soon as we can. Is the reaction to them and what people think, because our whole thing is that we're going to get people to know Prescott, that town, from a different angle, Cottonwood area from a different angle, Flagstaff from a different angle, Mesa from a different angle, Safford from a different angle, and we'll go to the small towns, the big towns, et cetera, like I mentioned before, and we're going to shoot those and find some cool things that are neat in there. And if anybody has any opinions as they're watching our shows over time, or we're talking on our podcast, and drop us a note saying, hey, you know what? I was in Gilbert, and it would be really neat if you could put this business on there, or they manufacture this, because we're really into people who make stuff.
Yeah.
And if you can find, they manufacture this, and I bet they'd love to get on the show and get a little publicity too. So go ahead, let us know about those things, because when we're mapping these things out and looking at these different businesses, sometimes, especially you get in larger communities like a Mesa or a Scottsdale, there's a lot to choose from for us that narrow it down to which ones are we going to pick for the show. You're picking 5 or 6 or maybe 7 things with short. I mean, you add up the minutes and the introduction minutes, and we talk about the town and the history and everything else. You put that all together, you can hit 22 or 23 minutes in a heartbeat. And you got to edit that down. So we might miss, some really good stuff that we said, ooh, we really should have tried that. Now, most likely, as we go through the state and we go from town to town and do different things, we'll circle back to certain towns where we felt, you know what, we really need to have part 2 and maybe even part 3 someday, because there's so many things. And that will probably happen as we go through, but there's plenty to do just with part 1. And all the different towns.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you think about the people on the outskirts when you go all the way down to the southeast corner. You go to Bisbee. I mean, that's an arts community. Go over to Yuma. That's way the heck over there, on 8, on Highway 8. Lake Havasu, Parker.
I don't even know where Bisbee is. Where's Bisbee?
Well, you go to Tucson.
Yeah.
And go a little bit southeast. Just keep going, and it's out there.
Further south of Tucson. Okay.
Southeast-ish, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Nice
little community. People love going to Bisbee. They have art community there. Some cool B&Bs, just other stuff, Everybody says good things. Don't forget, we have Tombstone, Arizona.
Yep, we do.
We have Tombstone, Arizona with
Parker.
their history. Yeah. So it's just a lot of cool stuff.
Here.
Stuff in the White Mountains, stuff out in the res. Different towns out in the res that, we pick. So there's so many choices. And this show, as we're building it and as we're moving through and doing it, Prescott is one of the first ones that we're shooting. I don't know if it'll be the first episode. Cottonwood might be. Jerome might be. I don't know. We'll see how the whole edits go and everything, and which one we pick and in our order of episodes. But however it falls, this show can just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Because, and then, like I said, circling back, and we might step out of the state a little bit too to go.
Oh, absolutely.
I would go somewhere else. Like we take a trip somewhere and get in the vehicle and go somewhere else and hit a few other towns.
It's a great location to be able to do that.
All right.
So
right. You have like Cortez, Colorado, and Durango, Colorado,
Utah,
and going over to Pagosa Springs, Farmington in New Mexico, and of course Albuquerque in the areas around there. There's a lot of small towns and other areas. So there's just so many choices in Nevada too. to do things without even having to go over to California. That this could go on, but our primary focus on the show for your neck of the woods will be to do Arizona, and in the end,
it is.
It depends. We hope to hook up with some of the departments that are in Arizona that feature tourism as part of their deal. And there's a department out there. It's the Arizona Office of Tourism. And so that's somebody that, as we get our shows out there and things, that we'll need to hook up. In the beginning, though, we've got enough on our plate to just do our thing and put it all together and figure out our format. And our format will grow, change. Our look will grow, change. Small, but it'll grow, change, and improve. Because hopefully it always does, right?
Big Raven show too.
Right. Hopefully it always does. It just will improve. We'll add things, figure out, it should be nice to shoot something.
We get
like
better
this
every
instead.
video, immensely.
But realistically, too, as we go and have all these things out there, people it'll go from us calling them up and going, oh, yeah, that sounds a great idea. Yeah, shoot us too. Please shoot us.
Yeah.
People getting a hold of us way before, when are you coming to Gilbert? When are you coming to Glendale? When are you going to be doing this? We sure would like to be on your show. And that will evolve quickly to that. And we feel that already. And it's going to be very interesting how we morph through that and come down to how we're going to shoot new episodes and new towns and everything else. But it's all very exciting, and we hope very exciting for viewers who want to learn about the different communities in Arizona from a new perspective.
And we always make it fun.
Yeah, that's
we'll always have animals.
Right. And again,
everyone loves animals.
Right, and and these things, we are not critiquers. In other words, we're not going to a restaurant and saying, this one's good, this one's not so good, this one's great, or a business or anything. We're just going to show them and let the businesses themselves speak for themselves and promote themselves, and we'll help them walk them through their video and how we do it. But after that, it's basically them promoting themselves and always showing a positive light, because I think everybody, I don't care what side of the political spectrum you are or sports spectrum you are or everything else, everybody would like something that would just be like fun and non-political and just learning about stuff.
Oh yeah.
So that's our entire focus for our business is that. And I think there's room in the world for that too.
I mean,
And
there's
so
not
that's-
enough videos of
and that's who we are. It fits who we are.
I mean, there's not enough videos of places that you want to go to, then you actually know what to do when you go there. There's just not enough. If you go to Flagstaff, it's almost hard to find out what's going on downtown to begin with anyways, let alone know where to go, what's actually good, and not just saying it's good because the restaurant says it's good.
So that's our little talk of your neck of the woods. Very exciting.
Yeah, super exciting. It's
be
going to be
great.
a lot of fun.
So we're moving on to the Screen Rant movies for the day, Tay.
Screen Rant movies for the day. So we're going to check out the movie lists, movie news that Screen Rant has.
So I'm gonna take control of this, Tay. Okay. And go down. Is there anything you want to talk about here, Spence? Mortal Kombat. Go ahead.
Tom Hardy and the Raid 2 director team up for Netflix cinematic Havoc. What?
Well, they're just trying to pump something on Netflix.
Yeah, something on Netflix that Tom Hardy's going to be a part of.
Right.
A lot of superhero stuff still.
Still, it's constant.
It's always superhero.
You know what's interesting about it is that the news for the industry finds it interesting and exciting because that's what they got to talk about. Realistically, but I don't know how many people I have talked to about movies that have told me the same thing. They are worn out with watching a Marvel movie.
Well, yeah.
They would rather go back and watch an old Humphrey Bogart movie or something else.
It's because they just put them out so fast.
It's just they're just done with them.
It's just there's too many. There's just way too many. I love Marvel too. I love Marvel, and I have to even admit that there's way too much.
Most of the movies are incredibly well made.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've seen every event. I've seen every single Marvel film.
It's the whole character of the movies. It's the feel of that. It's the amount of action, and people are just getting tired of it.
They're also getting tired of just the exact same type of plot and exact same type of, I don't know. It's like, they just want something refreshing and new. It's like, why would I want to see consistently the exact same Star Wars if I can see a new franchise? That's also a new sci-fi franchise. Like, I don't see a new sci-fi franchise being made. They're just making more freaking Star Wars. It's just how it is. It's because they gave up on creativity, it feels like.
Also own Star Wars and Marvel now.
Oh, because it's immediate money.
Deal.
It's immediate money. It's like they know it'll be successful because it has the name, so they're going to stick with it. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with Marvel. And unfortunately, it's just how it is. But,
sorry about that.
But we'll see what's going to happen with the world of the monopoly that is Disney and owning the entirety of the movie business.
Yeah, that's Tom Marciano on the phone calling me. I got to call him back after the podcast. But he'd be an excellent person to get on a podcast.
Tom Marciano. Really? Yeah. Tom would be fun.
Tom could take the mic, and we could just sit back and fall asleep.
Yeah.
Tom's just one of those guys.
He's a very heavy talker. Maybe you guys will meet him. He's a good friend of ours.
Yeah. He knows a lot about a lot of stuff. Actually, he's all hooked up with Cox and everything.
Johnny Cage. There's a new Mortal Kombat movie being made for some reason again.
Right.
And it's looking like they're trying to push it for some reason. I don't know. I've seen the Mortal Kombat movies. They're garbage. I mean, they're funny because they're cheesy, campy movies, but I don't get it. I don't get why this is even happening now. I don't know. Hopefully it's okay.
Look at this.
Gran Torino
regrets film's frequent use of Asian stars.
What?
Let.
Oh,
Asian
slurs.
See, I can't see.
What are Asian slurs?
It had to be bigger. So there's Asian. So they're going to go back and apologize for the movie that was made a few years ago before everybody got too
upset about.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that. That would be like everything.
Anti-Asian slurs?
If you think you did something, this is a great subject, and we're not going to get into it too deep. But
it's 2008.
If you think, right, it was 2008. If you think you shouldn't do that, then don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like that movie is that important to everybody's life in the world. A few years from now, 200-300 years from now, nobody's going to give a crap about Gran Torino.
Oh, but that doesn't matter. I mean, it's the same reason why I'm blanking out James Gunn. He almost got fired from Disney being a director, but literally all the fans basically was like, no, do not let this happen. Just because he said an immature Twitter post that was just, I think it was, what was it, baby? Do you remember the James Gunn Twitter post?
Her name is Mrs.
Taylor
Tay's Cookies. Mrs. Tay's Cookies.
No, I'm not talking about Roseanne. She said the N-word. Oh, I thought she said the N-word. I'm talking about James Gunn, the director that directs Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, he just ended up saying...
He said something just stupid and then he got fired from Disney, and literally in a whole uproar and petitions, and a couple months later, and then he finally came back because they feel like James Gunn is like one of the only good directors in the Marvel universe currently right now, which I agree. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies are fantastic. If they made a third one, I would actually watch that. Let's see. Like the only recent Marvel movies that I genuinely let's see.
Some offensive tweets, it looks like.
He just has offensive tweets. It was a little offensive, and he said it years ago, and that's the problem.
So they dug it out of a hole, huh?
Yeah, they dug it out of a hole because someone saw it, and Disney was like, nope, you're fired now because you said this when you were 25.
Speaking of Disney firing people, the girl from Mandalorian, oof.
Oh yeah, there was a woman in Mandalorian, the Star Wars television show. She's got fired because of people saying that she's...
Well, for anybody who does that stuff, there's no points won in the universe by knocking someone else down.
No.
The only points that are going to be won for you is by doing your own deal and lifting yourself up in some way.
I don't want to go over this too much.
But it's bad going in the past. Just if you don't want people doing that, people don't want to do it, you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Now
it just
stop. And that'll be the end of it. Because if everybody just stopped anyway, it would be fine. Then you don't have to worry about it. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And then it's fine.
Absolutely.
And then the past doesn't matter. It's just that people aren't stopping, and that's the
Oh, no. But it's the same reason why James Gunn came back. I mean, because he actually is a genuinely good guy, and he is genuinely a good director, and he deserved the role he got. So, I don't know. Disney is weird, though. They must be politically correct in every single regard. So,
That's the end of that thought. Okay, Sonic's Ben Schwartz still really wants to play DC hero Plastic Man. Plastic Man. So tell me about Plastic Man.
Plastic Man. I think he eats plastic. I don't know, actually. I don't know anything about Plastic Man.
Really?
Yeah, I have no. He might stretch. I'm not sure though. Sonic Ben Schwartz isn't Ben Schwartz.
I am not from. See, I know the Marvel characters better than the DC characters.
Yeah.
Every time they dig up a new DC character, I said, I got the DC poster of all the DC players upstairs in the music studio.
I think
There's
Plastic
no
Man's a
plastic-
joke character though.
There's no Plastic Man in the DC world. Where the hell's his Plastic Man come from?
I think Plastic Man's more of a joke character.
A joke?
Yeah, a joke character, as in like it's supposed to be silly. But James Gunn voiced the Sonic in the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
I mean, the Marvel world is ridiculous. It's like an ocean of different characters.
Let's check it out. Plastic Man. He stretches his. He's Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, it's Mr. Fantastic?
He's the Mr. Fantastic of DC.
Of DC.
Of DC.
Yeah, because Mr. Fantastic is
Marvel. Marvel. He's Fantastic Four Marvel.
Right.
Which they haven't reintroduced the Fantastic Four Marvel because it was owned by Fox, but now they own Fox, and now they don't know what to do with it because they've already just rebooted it, and that reboot was a failure. So it's kind of a weird gray area right now.
Huh. So Mr. Fantastic, who were the four? Hulk?
No. It's The Thing.
Oh, the Thing.
The Thing, Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman. Or
Really?
Is that her name? Yeah. Okay, the Invisible Woman and the Human Torch.
Human Torch.
Yeah.
And that's the Fantastic Four.
That's the Fantastic Four. And what they were is they're like the astronauts that went into space and they went on this planet and they got radioactive powers in space and they came back and then they were weird.
Well, what about that doctor guy that I like so much?
Dr. Doom. He was a part of their space thing. And he also got mutated, but he ended up being evil. Ooh,
But he's not. But he's not part of the four. Then.
He's not part of the four. He's a part of their. There's the nemesis.
Oh.
The evil person, because they were all friends at one point, but then they weren't.
Okay. It's hard to keep them all straight. There's so many.
Oh, I know. There's so many.
My Marvel poster.
There's so many.
Up in the music studio. That one, it's got a lot of characters on that thing.
The only recent superhero thing I even like recently is called The Boys. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
The Boys it's a mock superhero show, but mock as in it's played by the character that is the main character of the show is actually a normal human, but there is basically a Justice League that exists in that world, and it's very popular, and everyone knows about it. It's like how you see like advertising with everyone has like their toys and stuff like that. But in the beginning of the in the beginning of the show, this is only the first episode, so slight spoilers. The main character's girlfriend gets obliterated because basically the Flash of that show runs straight through her, and he sees it right in front of his eyes, and you see this explosion of all this gore and guts just going on to him, and he's just like instantly shocked because he was going like 1,000,000 miles per hour. So it's just, and it's just, so it's
What do
like
you mean the Flash of that show?
the Flash, meaning he's just a fast guy.
But he's not the Flash.
He's not the Flash because none of the characters are DC characters or Marvel characters.
He just has speed. Super speed guy.
He's super speed guy. Super speed guy. So, and there's a Superman of that show. There's even a Batman.
What makes him fast?
He's fast.
Does he eat Mrs. Taste's cookies?
It just no. It seems like there's just there's people in the world of that world that some people are special that have powers. But and they do explain that a little bit more, but I'm not going to get into that.
Are people getting lost with all these other characters? Or is it accepting with people who are younger who haven't been introduced to any of them at different times are all just coming at him at once, so they seem to accept him quicker.
I would
Not
say that.
making them iconic like of Marvel or DC. It's just kind of like
No, you can see when you grow up with comic books, like there was comic books when I was a kid, and so obviously Superman, Batman,
Yeah.
the key ones, the Hulk,
Yeah.
those are the ones that you're familiar with. So they add another one and another one and another one and one. And then after a while, now all of a sudden you hit a certain age and it's like, it's too damn many. But if you're 8 and then you're 13 and you've just been introduced to all of these all at once, it's not like you've gone through that.
I
So
would.
you can kind of pick the ones you like.
Yeah, I mean that exists, but I would also say because of things how they emphasize on certain characters, like let's say Iron Man, like certain characters are always going to be iconic because they always focus on the iconic ones because it's biased. And even though, but that always does change. Like Iron Man wasn't iconic until Iron Man was made, and then he just kept being more and more and more iconic. So it just depends on what they want to do.
People like that story of the rich guy, like the Batman in the cave and the mansion upstairs.
I even like the Doctor Strange-like story, though.
Oh, Doctor Strange is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I would say that is currently my favorite Marvel franchise besides Spider-Man and Iron Man. But Spider-Man and Iron Man are pretty equal. But yeah, but there's just so many.
But I like the guy who played Doctor Strange.
Oh, well, Benedict Cumberbatch, you mean.
the
Yeah,
Cumberbatch,
he also played Smaug in The Hobbit. And he is Sherlock in Sherlock Holmes, the television show.
And he's that dude in this new movie coming out that he's just a guy who goes to Russia to act as a spy. He's in Benedict Cumberbatch, and I can't remember the trailer. Can you look at the new Benedict Cumberbatch movie coming out soon? And just research that.
Yeah, so there's not too much screen.
The
rest
British,
might as well.
yeah, there he is. But what's the movie? The new one.
It's probably going to show.
It's all too tiny for me, so you'd have to tell me what you're showing us today.
Magic. Rio. No, these are not even. Oh, okay, there we are. Doctor Strange, Electric Wife of the Power of a Dog, the Mercian, James, the Giant Peach. They must be remaking in that James and the Giant Peach. That's kind of weird. That was like one of my favorite childhood movies.
Anyway, he plays just a citizen who is recruited by the
Courier
by British intelligence to go over to Russia and just be a salesman, but to infiltrate their system and act like just a salesman and be a salesman. And to me, when they were showing the trailer, he looks incredibly suspicious as not just being a salesman. Okay. And then if the trials and tribulations, I guess, of him doing that, going through there with his family and how it affects his family and how it affects what he's doing. And they've got some layers to it, and it looks like it's a well-written thing. And of course it's got him in it. And
Yeah.
he's quite excellent.
Oh, I've never seen a bad movie with him in it personally.
Yeah, so
he's really good in movies. Well, The Hobbit's meh, but he did really good at Smaug. Have you ever seen him do the Smaug behind the scenes?
No.
You should pull that up, baby. I mean, Mrs. Tay's Cookies.
Mrs. Tay's Cookies. Actually, it's Tay's. Mrs. Tay's Cookies.
This is pretty good, actually. It's actually almost hilarious, just because he does all the motion capture too. I think he does. I don't really know how it's.
So what is this?
This is when he does Smaug the Dragon, in The Hobbit, and this is him doing the behind the scenes of voicing it and controlling the character with his body, meaning
Oh, really?
the dragon.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
all right, let's play this.
Well, thief, I smell you. I hear your breath. I feel your air. Where are you? Where are you?
Notice I got
That's-
notice I got a Sennheiser 50 just hanging right there, Adam. Too.
Yeah. That's not it.
That's pretty cool.
Well, that's not the whole thing.
But still, I got the idea.
Yeah, I mean,
That's pretty cool.
oh, there's the better one.
You know what's great about it, though? A lot of people think that these actors go in and they show these stuff.
Well,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, let it just roll then.
I smell you. I hear your breath. I feel your air. Where are you? Where are you?
I like seeing the dragon.
Wherever I please, and none can stop me.
Sorry.
Sorry, it's a little funny.
No doubt you purloined it for your filthy dwarf friends. You have nice manners for a liar and a thief. This is some sordid scheme hatched between them and those miserable tab-trading lakemen. I know the smell and taste of dwarf. No one better. The king from under the mountain is dead. Where are the kin who dare seek revenge? I ate all his people like a wolf among sheep. I destroyed Dale. I laid low the warriors of old and instilled terror into the hearts of men. I kill wherever I please, and none shall stop me. So tell me, underling, how do you choose to die?
He's really, really good.
He's having fun, too.
I am fire! I am death!
I am fire. I am death.
I like the other shots, though, because you get to see what they were doing.
Well, that's why I was showing that one first.
Yeah.
I was showing that one first so we could see the comparison. And
What's
the
really
choices.
happening? What the character's going to look like?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's off synced too, so that's why.
So we'll get to see Benedict Cumberbatch now crawling around in Russia on the floor somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it might not. That's actually all he can do now.
What?
That's all he can do now.
Oh,
That's it. So he takes that character and puts it in every new movie.
Mocap to screen.
It's what?
From mocap to screen.
Smog.
Smaug. The desolation of Smaug. Oh wow. So they did use his movement.
They did use his face, but yeah.
It's just hard to tell. Oh yeah, he has the ring here, so he can't see him
Oh,
at
look
all.
right here.
I hear your breath. I hear your breath.
Why doesn't he see him?
He's wearing the one ring. One ring makes you invisible, remember?
Oh, yeah, all right. But this is The Hobbit.
The Hobbit.
Right.
The Habit.
I mean, God, I read those books so long ago.
This is cool because they're showing like the mocap.
And I watched The Hobbit, but it's
The movies aren't that great, to be honest. The first and second ones are okay. The last one was just drawn
And
out.
as
But
a reader of somebody who read The Hobbit,
no, they added.
it seems like it should have just been one movie, one time. No 1, 2, 3.
I think they should add 2 movies because it had enough. But there have been enough stuff of just going to Bilbo, doing the troll stuff, meeting Radagast the Brown, going to the Lonely Island, dealing with the stuff, and seeing Smaug, and then him getting killed at the town. That's the end of the book. And that's what it should have been, but it wasn't. Oh, well.
So we're on to the next thing.
All right, so we're going to talk about time code.
No, what about actor game show hosts?
Are we doing that now? Oh!
Yeah.
We're doing that. All right, let's go back to game show hosts. So we've been noticing that throughout COVID, and well, Dad pointed this out to me, that a lot of these actors are now becoming game show hosts.
Yeah, so I'm going to take this over, but can you make it a little bigger? Is that possible?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Because it just shrunk. All right, so I'm a... Oh, what happened? Don't touch anything.
Keeps touching the mouse.
I can't help it. It's a mouse. It's fuzzy and soft. And if I don't grab it, it'll run away. Okay, so actors who ended up the 10 Weirdest Game Show. Dax Shepard. Oh, yeah, him.
Who is Dax Shepard?
Oh, let's think of a movie that he's been in. Look at that face.
He looks very familiar. He
Jack
does.
Shepard is from
How-
Punk'd originally.
How about Idiocracy? He was the lawyer. He had that Barca lounger where he sat, where he could watch
Yeah,
TV,
he's like
eat,
watching
and flush
guys
the
get hit
toilet.
in the head with
Yeah, it was
the
like
ball.
it was people who
It's not
hit
my machine.
ouch my balls.
Oh, well, this is the Costco.
Yeah.
That guy. Okay,
Yeah.
I already know him.
What a great part.
That's weird that he is on.
Plus a lot of funny parts.
Spin
Just a
the
lot of stuff.
Wheel? Is that a Wheel of Fortune ripoff?
Well, it's just a job. And her,
Jane Lynch, yeah.
she'll definitely take a job, but she is an excellent comic
I
actress.
love Jane Lynch.
She's really, really good. That movie with Steve Carell, what's Steve Carell? The 40-year-old virgin?
4-year-old virgin? Yeah.
She's always hitting on him.
Yeah. Jane Lynch is really fun. Actually, she was even good as a voice actress in Wreck-It Ralph.
Right. Alec Baldwin, I watch.
Oh,
the thing about the Alec Baldwin deal, I don't know if anybody has watched this and the show that he's on, and it's a good show,
Match Game.
Match Game, which is an old show that he is the host. He seems, I would say, almost resentful of the fact that he's got to be on that show. It just bleeds out of him. You watch it and it's just like, this guy constantly makes fun of the fact that he's on the show, and he makes fun of the show itself. I watched it. It was like, holy shit, Alex, do you want to keep this job?
Maybe not.
But maybe that's part of the funniness. I don't know.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Jamie Foxx is? What is he on? Showing the circuit?
No, it's Beach Shazam.
Oh, Beat Shazam. What is Shazam?
That's pathetic.
Shazam is
He's in the height of his career. But
Shazam is that music service.
Oh, it's the music service thing that I defended in the site song.
Shazam is the music service you use when you're trying to identify what song you're hearing in the background. So Beat Shazam is essentially where you have to identify the popular sound or tune
Before
based
Shazam
by
does.
the category, and then I think you have to do it in a certain amount of time.
Beat
and then
Shazam.
That's dumb. That's a dumb game show concept. I would rather have a whole game show about making smoothies. That's weird.
But people like him, so he's probably
Oh, I
being
love
liked.
Jamie Foxx.
And Elizabeth Banks, who's in a lot of different things.
Elizabeth Banks is hosting a show?
Yep.
What is she? Press
Host of
Your
Press Your Luck.
She's in Press Your Luck? That's interesting. I didn't know that. So weird. Joel McHale, he's always in stuff like that.
Right.
Though.
But
I'm not shocked with that.
That right, because he took over for like a Tosh type show.
He was on The Soup.
Yeah, the soup.
The Soup is before Tosh, actually.
Right,
so,
right,
yeah.
right.
But yeah, he's that type of guy now. He's a television-y guy. So it's not that shocking as much. The other people are like, what the heck? All right, let's go down.
He's funny.
He is funny. Rob Love.
Lowe,
Oh, Lowe. I'm like, what?
the actor.
Oh, okay. Rob Lowe. I wouldn't read that like.
So
What's he on?
I don't know, but people like Rob Lowe.
Mental Samurai.
And this guy here, Dwayne Johnson,
The Rock?
he'll be on anything.
The Titan Games.
He'll
Yes,
be
he
on
will.
anything.
Yes, he will.
Anything.
Yeah. Just so he can get
Money.
Well, not just money, just publicity. In general.
The whole thing.
Oh yeah, but The Rock is heavily loved nowadays.
Right. He'll be on anything.
Wayne Brady.
Oh my God, Wayne Brady. Well, Wayne Brady, it fits.
Yeah,
Because he
it's
was
just-
on shows.
Yeah, but it's just funny.
Wayne Brady's done game shows for like decades now. He was
Yeah,
on,
he's
Adam
a.
Scott.
That makes a lot of
the
sense.
lyrics.
Oh.
Adam Scott from Parks and Rec and other places.
That's in movies too.
Yeah.
A lot of movies, but wow.
So all these guys got game show gigs because there is no work.
there is no work.
And
so
the
they
whole,
got nothing to
in the
do.
middle of the COVID thing, now the whole industry is changing.
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
And they're going to all come back from COVID and realize there's no jobs because now everything's gone to internet, YouTube channels. The older people are dying. Nobody's watching TV, any regular TV anymore. They're getting their media from all different sources. And the media, like us, heck, somebody could be watching us in Australia right now if they wanted to,
Absolutely.
or
Well,
wherever,
anywhere. Yeah.
wherever.
Yeah, as long as,
They could understand us too in Australia.
yeah. As long as you know English, you'll be able to watch us.
Right. I don't know if we speak English.
Hardly.
Hardly, yeah. We speak barely anything. So that was just an interesting little aside that I wanted to show. Could we go on to the next thing, please, Tay?
So we're gonna go on to time code. Actually, we're gonna talk about time code.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about time code and what time code is and the importance of time code and how we use time code. And we actually weren't using time code previously, which is a mistake,
Well,
in my opinion.
yeah,
But-
and some of the reason that we didn't use time code is because we didn't want to fuss with lining things up with time code when we didn't feel we had a need for it, maybe with just one camera, if that's the way we were shooting. But now, and for a while now, we've been shooting with multiple cameras. So you have to line up that time code, and you have to line them up to your sound devices unit, or if you're using Zoom units, or other brands out there. But we'll just speak to sound devices
Well,
right
what is
now.
time code?
So time code is going to give you exactly the time that and I'll come from the audio side, the audio device has on its machine. So if the audio device says this is the time that we're shooting, the audio sample that you end up picking up and putting on whatever software that you're putting it on, whether it's Premiere from Adobe or whatever, you will see that time stamped into the audio sample.
And that's the exact same
put
thing
on
with
there.
cameras, too.
Right, it's exactly the same. So what you have to do then is you have to match up the time code that's on the audio device first as the control and have the cameras synced to that exact same time. So then when you put those on, they're all at the exact same time to the second. And what happens is they'll warp out after several hours. They're depending upon the camera and which one you're using. We happen to be heavy on Panasonic on the cameras because we like the Panasonic brand, and we are heavy on sound devices on the sound, so we can run it through. But there's sync devices. Tentacle Sync makes them. Other companies have them. There's sync devices that you can plug in and run it, so you have the device that has the time code, and you jam that time code into the sound devices unit, or you use the sound devices unit and to start off the time code from that point. But either or, in the end, what you're doing is you're syncing all your cameras up and everything else, and then you're doing rechecks all the time to make sure that you didn't go off a few seconds here and there. So, but what it gets you is that when you put the film/digital media in your computer and on Adobe Premiere or wherever you're putting it, you'll see the time and it'll be matching, so you don't have to be chasing exactly what you have. Now,
and what you call the metadata of the audio or the video files that you have, and metadata is the file information.
Yeah, what you have on all of those programs, whether it's Premiere or some of the better programs, is you'll have some type usually of syncing uh, in the software where you can make a choice, and it'll shift it to the point where it can read where the audio is supposed to be, and setting it up. But it still is time consuming. And if you're cutting, and you're using a lot of stop go while you're shooting, and we do that especially in commercial work, because we might shoot and somebody will say something for 30 seconds, 25 seconds, 20 seconds, and we're on to the stop, cut, next shot, get them over there, say this, cut, next shot, and he'll have a whole lot of those. By being able to see exactly and know exactly where the time is and how they match up when we put them on there, you don't have to worry about somebody saying and something that you have, and it's so far off, that you got to sync it in, and it's not quite right. And what it does is it just costs you a lot of time.
And not just that, you also have to do the organization of literally just finding and matching and pairing files.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because actually that's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we'll have,
especially if you're using multicam.
Right, and we'll have a bunch of takes on one thing until we get it right. And so we have all those takes. Hey, which was the good one?
Yeah.
Which time were we in? Yeah. Well, we can find out with one and then find the audio file in the exact same time, and that will be the end of it. We won't have to rifle through the audio files, because sometimes you might have, if for one shot you're trying to get right, let's talk a commercial shot. Let's say we're in a restaurant. Let's say somebody's showing how you make a sandwich, okay?
Yeah.
So we're shooting how they made that sandwich, and everybody loves that sandwich. We shot it, and there it is, but then we didn't like that, so we shot it again and again and again and again and again. And we shot it camera-wise 10 times. But when we did the audio, we continued rolling the audio accidentally through a few of those. So when we got done, we only had 7 audio files, but yet 10 film camera files.
Match it up?
Yeah, which one of those files might have had 2 takes, and they should have had only 1, and we should have been stopped and gone again.
And that could take hours, literally, just to pair.
Just to pair stuff. So what timecode does is timecode allows you to be able to see clearly where the file is and what the file is you have, and you just find that time, and boom, you match it up, and you are done.
Not just that, when you're able to group timecode immediately together. So let's say I did a whole shoot, and I was using 3 cameras, and I had an audio device, and what it will do after I get all those files is I could even label the audio and 3 separate cameras as audio 1 and camera 1, 2, and 3. And what it will do is put it in different tracks, meaning the layers on Premiere, and actually sync it exactly to the time of day, exactly when it was made, on those layers, exactly when I shot, perfectly, so I don't have to even match separate shots and separate angles on top of that. And it'll automatically done in one false swoop as long as you label them correctly, and that's all you have to do. But the only disadvantage I have found with timecode is if you are using multicam and one of your cameras is using slow-mo, because then audio can accidentally eat over each other. Because, well, if your video is very slow and you're trying to match it with time, it's going to overlap. But that's the only issue that you'll ever have. But that's very rare to have that. So.
I think the bottom line is that when and where we made some mistakes is when we were shooting film type things, like for our Big Raven show and for other stuff. When we were shooting that way, we felt, oh, that's the ones that we need to use timecode for. But for our quick commercial shots and things, it's not going to matter so much because they're so short and everything else. And it's really almost the opposite. The amount of takes that you have to do, the amount of short things that you have to match up, actually, it's almost more needed. And bottom line is, it's always needed. So anytime when you get into things like that, when you want to shoot and do this type of work, that you should take timecode seriously, and from the get-go, do timecode.
I think I'm also going to make a proper tutorial, because I actually had to do a lot of trial and error and finding multiple tutorials just on Premiere to be able to do timecode correctly. For if anyone is curious how to do timecode, and I'll show you guys how to do it in Premiere and how I do it personally.
Yeah, one of the things we're going to do, we are going to show tutorials on equipment and how you do things, but we're not those equipment guys because they're very good.
Oh yeah.
Curtis Judd on
Yeah. Oh yeah.
a lot of these guys, they're great. But I can tell you that like our lenses that we use, our cinema lenses, they're not cheap, but not a lot of people have bought them, you know?
Yeah.
And so they're not out there, but people are interested. So there's some videos out there, but they're really short and there's not enough explanation on each one. And they don't really walk through it in the detail that if I was going to buy the lens, the stuff I needed to hear, they're superficial.
And that's how exactly I feel about editing and everything like that too.
And sometimes I'll even get that with the mics we have. So we plan through each one of our podcasts to pick on something, a subject.
Yeah.
The Zine lenses. We showed a little bit about them in our first podcast or something.
Yeah, we did.
But it was pretty. It was just
pretty
to show
limited.
them that we had them.
Yeah, really.
But not shots and the different things. But we're showing them not to say, you should buy zines. We couldn't care less. Get whatever you want. You know?
Yeah.
We're not we have no dog in that hunt. But we show them so people could say, oh, wow, those things really do this and do that, and the kind of shots you can get and how you use them and why they'd be something you'd want to get on, and they're on the market. They're fantastic. And the same with other things that we carry. We've really gotten into Sennheiser mics recently. There's different brands out there, but the consistency of having that brand and that sound and the ease.
We love consistency.
Yeah, of editing. That's why we stay with certain brands. Like if we get a large camera, a large film camera, or we're going to rent to shoot because we have to have different type of formatting and use and things, we'll stick most likely with Panasonic. We won't go to Red or other ones because not only we know the formats and we know the screens, and we know how to find stuff and use the cameras with ease and everything, but there's also a look and there's a matchup that you get with each camera. That's why we're consistent with our lenses.
And when it comes to
different
Premiere,
lenses.
also it changes how I export things and how it goes into the program and how it actually takes into the file information. It's always different for each camera, especially if you own like a Red camera.
Sound is like that too, just to get the right, even sound so you can match it up and match it up.
Yeah.
I really don't know how these people go through and have this brand and that brand and this brand and shoot with this.
They can deal with it because they want to.
Yeah, they want to.
Yeah.
But it adds an incredibly deep layer of stuff that's, to me, is almost unnecessary when you're just trying to make the rest of it work and all the editing work. So that's a little veer off on what we were talking about there. But it kind of plays into how we think and why we buy, why we have only, even though there's companies out there like Schattler that has the very good tripods.
Oh yes.
And we have like their sound bag and their vest system.
Yes.
Which is really nice. But why we wouldn't have that brand instead of using Manfrotto, and we have all Manfrotto tripods. We love the Manfrotto tripods. It's because what happens is they're easier to use. And any of these things that we have and we ever talk about, we're used to them. And if we get somebody else to work the camera or how to do it and set it up, that tripod works with that. Like
I think you've been on Manfrotto ever since like 2004.
Yeah, Manfrotto's make some great units, and then all these other companies make great, or they say better units. Whatever, that's fine. But what we have is that if you have other people on your set and you're doing production work, you don't want like 5 different things on the set. You could have that if you want to, but if they all work the same and you figure out how to work an easy way to make each thing work, then you can put somebody out there, they can do it easier. It makes it way too difficult. Same with our lights.
Absolutely.
Our lights are all the same brand.
And
that's there's there's a reason for it besides safety on the LEDs and everything else.
Yeah.
So, and we mentioned that in our first podcast, but we'll go into that in more detail, but it just makes life
We also do have
easier.
videos of all of our equipment when it comes to lighting and I believe audio too.
Yeah, they're real quick videos.
They are quick videos, but I would recommend.
It doesn't go into detail. It just shows.
No,
it
just
just shows stuff.
I would say the most detail we ever go to is on the lights, but that's really it.
Oh yeah, right. The lights.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. We did that.
Yeah, we did, and we even like
That was me.
The lights.
That was me talking
you
and
burn your
taping
hand
in the
off.
background and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Flashing stuff.
Tay was in the video.
Yeah, that was when she was called Tay.
Yeah.
Now she's Mrs. Tay's.
Yeah, Mrs. Tay's cookies. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually like the name a lot.
Mrs. Tay's cookies.
Yeah, I just can't lose it now. It's almost like a permanent thing.
Alrighty. Do we have anything else set up to talk about?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What do we have?
But, no, I think that's it.
Is
That's
that
it?
Is that no? Go down.
I mean,
go to
we're
the.
at oh, we got this, but we're at 2 hours and 15 minutes, guys.
Oh, okay. So 25 actors who became
Recognizable.
for a role will be saved. Will be saved for the next time.
Okay.
For the next
Okay,
podcast,
good.
because we're kind of running over here. We like to run between 2 and 2:20,
Yeah.
and that's plenty because God, I couldn't listen to me longer than that. I don't know about you.
I can listen to myself all day long.
Yeah. Now my dog, he'll listen to me,
Yeah, absolutely.
but I don't know if he wants to listen to me. But there's no way he can voice.
I
that
think it's
he
a little bit of
doesn't
Stockholm
want to listen.
syndrome, but you know.
Yeah. Are you
One of them's not going on the thing, so just go ahead and wrap it up.
Alrighty.
Are you good,
Yeah.
Mrs. Tay's cookies?
Mrs. Tay's
Just
cookies.
go ahead and wrap it up. One
Okay, I'll wrap it up. So that was the Bick Raven podcast for today.
Yeah.
What is today? February the
February the 19th.
19th. February the 19th.
We had a fun one today.
Slowly getting closer
We
to
did a
the
lot
end
of
of winter.
BSing.
Yeah, a lot of BSing. So, well, that's what we do. And so,
Um,
but it's fun.
Some educational.
That's right. And we appreciate anybody who's watching this, who future watches this, where we're not live. And hopefully you'll learn something from it, or you got something
Yeah.
that you enjoyed watching. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, everybody, and I love you all. Please subscribe and follow us on anything you can and share us. It will help very, very much.
What he said.